Graham, as of today, you're fired.
Huh? Ken? As in Ken Jenkins, company president? Good morning. I hope you don't mind me asking, sir, but what's this all about? Why would you tell me I'm fired all of a sudden?
Because you're fired all of a sudden, dimwit. I'm sure you've heard about my dad's recent passing and my ascension to his post of CEO. Well, I'm getting rid of all the dead weight at the company as part of my new policy. As of now on, we'll only be hiring people like myself with elite educational backgrounds. If you're not from a top 5 college, we ain't interested. Accordingly, I'm currently in the process of firing all employees found not to have an elite educational background. I'm sure you understand. How are we ever supposed to make it far in the industry with a bunch of uneducated dimwits weighing us down? We don't need morons like you around anymore, so you're fired.
Jesus Christ, Ken, you're firing everyone who didn't graduate a top 5 college? Isn't this a little extreme? This is going to cause all sorts of problems for the clients I'm responsible for managing. You do know I have contracts with a lot of companies, right?
Don't worry about that. I'll be taking over all of your roles as of today.
Huh? But how?
If these client relationships are so simple a pea-brained dimwit like you could handle them, I'm sure we'll be fine.
So you're not even going to find me a replacement?
Like we need a replacement for you! You have the IQ of a potato and a workload lower than my dead grandma! I could do your job in my sleep!
Are you being serious?
This company's going places now that I'm in charge of it, which means we can't afford to have a bunch of deadweight potato brains holding us back. To be honest, if these clients were low-grade enough to be involved with you, we're probably better off without them. There's no point in replacing you. It'd be a waste of a salary.
I see.
All right, we're done here. I don't want to see your face around our company again, do you hear me? As of today, you're officially without a job. Thanks for your service.
Olivia, I'm coming home now.
Huh? Graham, what's going on? Did something happen? You left for work this morning just like always, right? Are you clocking off early? Are you sick?
I got fired.
You got fired? What the heck? Why? Why would they fire the sales manager at a company with 10 employees? What happened, Graham? Aren't you the only one there with the skills required to negotiate client contracts? I remember you telling me most of the other guys there were fresh out of college and a little wet behind the ears. I can't believe they'd fire you.
Apparently, the new CEO's only hiring people who graduated a top 5 college from now on. Obviously, that means they'll be rejecting 99% of new applications because very few people actually graduate a top 5 college, and even fewer of those would be interested in working for our company. Naturally, a high school dropout like me never had a shot.
What? Are you for real?
He didn't even replace me. Apparently, he'll be taking on all of my responsibilities himself.
Graham, wait a sec. Maybe this is actually for the best.
What? It was for the best that I got fired?
No. I don't mean it in a bad way. Listen, his dad, the old CEO, was the one who hired you after you dropped out of high school due to what was going on with your family at the time, right? I was so shocked to find out he died in a car crash recently, and obviously it's really tragic. But with an idiot like that in charge, do you really think the company has a future? At least this way you can get out early, instead of having to endure a slow descent to the bottom.
Olivia, that's actually a good point.
Besides, he might have said the reason he fired you was because of your educational background, but isn't it more likely that he just has a grudge against you?
A grudge? But why?
I told you before we got married, right? About how that arrogant dimwit was constantly hitting on me back in college, always trying to get my attention in the most obnoxious ways. It was like he couldn't take a hint and kept showing up everywhere I went, thinking he was irresistible.
Yeah, I remember that. After you guys all graduated, he joined the company as a regular employee, right? But when he found out me and you had been dating ever since middle school, he started treating me like crap at work and making the most ridiculous demands of me and only me. He did calm down when word of him throwing his weight around at the office got out to his dad, and he gave him a stern telling off, and he's been quiet ever since. But now that I think about it, I doubt his resentment ever went away. If anything, he probably hated me more after thinking I'd ratted on him to his dad.
Right? The fact that he started behaving like his old self again the moment he became CEO tells me it's exactly like you say. His hatred didn't go away. It was just bubbling away under the surface, kept in check by his dad. But now he's gone. He's totally out of control. He appears to have absolutely no idea how valuable you are to that company. I don't think it has long left. Oh, would you look at that? The moron himself just messaged me as I was writing all this up.
Wow, no kidding?
I did try blocking him ages back, but he got even more persistent and irritating in real life when he couldn't get through to me anymore, so I unblocked him again. I hadn't heard from him for months until just now. Damn it, what does he want this time? It looks like this whole situation is about to become an even bigger pain in the ass.
I just got to the station. I'm gonna rush home as fast as I can, so I won't reply till I'm back. See you soon, babe.
Okay, sweetie, be careful.
Hello there, Olivia, my sweet aromatic sugar dumpling. It looks like you're gonna have no choice but to marry me real soon. Listen, babe, that low IQ fiancé of yours made a huge blunder at work that led to the whole company's IT systems going offline for the day. I had no choice but to fire him. It wasn't an easy decision, but I knew this is what I was getting myself into when I stepped up to the role of CEO. It's just like Batman says, with great power comes great responsibility. Naturally, being a hopelessly stupid high school dropout, his prospects of finding a new job after this are less than zero, so I'm guessing he probably didn't tell you yet. Am I right? My hunch is that he'd rather marry you as a jobless NEET than admit to being unemployed and risk you leaving him. If you're not careful, he could end up leeching off your salary for the rest of your life. It's a sad reality, but everyone knows high school dropouts are 96% more likely to be scumbag leeches than normal human beings like you and I. I think it's about time you tossed that good-for-nothing parasite by the wayside. I, on the other hand, I've decided to make you the CEO's wife. Of course, that means you can quit your current job to ascend to your new post of blessed fortune, riches, and social status. But by post, I don't mean within the company. Oh no, you, my sweet darling angel, are gonna be a stay-at-home housewife living entirely off my vast riches in comfort, luxury, and style.
Shut the hell up, you pea-brained moron.
What?
Graham doesn't work for you anymore, so I can drop the act now, right? It feels super relieving to be able to let you know exactly how much I hate you, asshole.
Olivia?
Graham already told me about how you fired him.
What? He told you of his own volition?
He told me straight after you did it as he was on his way home. He just got back and now he sat right next to me.
You mean he actually admitted he got fired? What the hell's gotten into him?
Me and Graham love and respect each other, which means he'd never lie to me about anything. Also, he and I are not engaged.
Huh? You mean you broke up? Ah, fantastic, magnificent, excelento. This is like music to my ears, baby. This means me and you can finally tie the knot and be whisked away in our very own love roller coaster.
No, doofus, we got married 6 months ago, which means I'm his wife now.
You're his wife?
Not only that, but I'm pregnant with his child.
Pregnant?
Yes, so unless you enjoy wasting your time, I think it's about time you gave up on me for good, Ken. I'd never betray Graham, no matter what, so just leave us alone.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. My honey princess, my treacle bear, the apple of my eye, my precious Olivia, got married to a high school dropout? You let a high school dropout get you pregnant? I think I'm gonna throw up. I was sure that once I finally became CEO and fired that no-good loser, I was finally gonna get you all to myself. I can't believe this. No!
Graham, your old coworkers Magnus and Halfthor are here.
Huh? Like Halfthor and Magnus are at the house?
Yeah, apparently they made their excuses and left early so they could come and see you. I told them you're at the local municipal office to do the procedures for changing your health insurance card right now. Do you think you'll be there much longer? What should I tell them?
Well, if they went out of their way to see me, I imagine they must have something pretty important to talk about. Could you ask them to hang on a little longer? I'm almost finished here. As long as they don't mind, of course. I should be back in like 15 minutes.
Got it. I'll pass on the message.
Hey, asshole! How dare you steal all of my clients? 90% of our regulars just terminated their contracts with us. We're gonna go frickin' bankrupt at this rate. You get your ass down here and bring these clients back right now, you worthless high school dropout prick.
You should have thought about that before firing me, you despicable, low-life shit-weasel.
What did you just call me? Did you just call me a despicable low-life shitweasel? What the hell does that even mean? Anyway, that is no way to speak to your superior. I am the CEO.
Of what? A failing company that I don't even work for anymore? On what planet do I have any obligation to treat you with respect? I'm not held back by my position anymore, which means I can call you whatever the hell I like, and that's what I intend to do.
I'm still the CEO. Not only that, but unlike you, I have a college degree. Do you have any idea how important I am?
You important? In spite of that amazing degree of yours, you're clearly too stupid to understand that the moment you fired me, you stopped being my boss and became nothing more than the irritating asshole who was trying to steal my wife behind my back. You should be grateful I'm even taking the time out of my day to reply to you, you verminous plague rat.
What?
My wife could take you to court for stalking if she wanted to. Do you even realize that?
Stalking? What the?
We have mountains of evidence, so go ahead and keep trying to provoke us if you think your financial situation isn't already bad enough. 'Cause I promise you, we could easily make it 10 times worse.
Oh, whatever. This crap about your wife isn't why I messaged you. Give me back my clients!
Ah, of course. The trouble is, I couldn't give you those clients back even if I wanted to.
Why not?
You probably think I conspired to bring them with me and carry on our business in secret when I got a new job or something, right?
Well, you did, didn't you?
Nope, I'm still unemployed.
Huh?
One of my buddies offered me a managerial post at the new company he's starting next month, so it's not like I don't have anything lined up. But it's an entirely different industry to your company, so my relationships with those clients were essentially terminated the moment you fired me. We're no longer involved with each other, and probably never will be again.
Wait, What? But if that's true, why would they terminate their contracts with my company? Their termination notices started showing up in my inbox practically from the moment I fired you. I lost 90% of the company's clients in 2 weeks. Does that even happen? I can't frickin' believe it. This ain't normal, and I know you're involved somehow, so just come clean with me already, damn it!
You appear to be completely unaware of how your company actually works, despite being its CEO. But I had meetings scheduled with every single one of the 90% who just abandoned you to negotiate contract renewal for next year. It's not that they terminated the contracts, they're just not going to renew them. But if you understood the basics of corporate management, you'd know that, wouldn't you? Anyway, as of the moment you fired me, there was no longer anyone at the company with the knowledge or experience required to negotiate and finalize contract renewal procedures. I was the one in charge of ensuring the continuation of those contracts, and with me gone, they couldn't carry on working with you even if they wanted to.
What the hell? No way. Surely that can't be. There must be at least one more person here with a college degree who knows how to do the contract stuff.
Sure, but he went on extended leave last month.
What?
With that, I was the only employee left on the sales team. I did try to explain to you that it would be a good idea to employ someone else to help keep things running smoothly, even if only on a short-term basis until he came back, but you barely even listened to what I had to say before rejecting my proposal outright. I had no choice but to keep running sales entirely on my own. Then, to make an already ridiculous situation even more absurd, you fired me! Then to make an already absurd situation so outrageously farcical that it became positively hilarious, you didn't even find me a replacement!
What the heck?
I have no idea who took over the client discussions over next year's contract renewal after I left, or whether anyone even did, but there's no way anyone at that company was capable, knowledgeable, or experienced enough to pull something like that off. The clients had no choice but to call off the negotiations because there was nobody they could talk to.
So that's what happened. I see. Graham, get your ass back down to the office immediately. You need to re-establish those meetings for next year's contract renewal right now.
Impossible.
What kind of attitude is that? Don't give up before you even try, damn it.
You seem to be forgetting one minor detail. You fired me.
Whatever, that's all water under the bridge now. I take it back. You're unfired.
Don't worry, there's no need to unfire me.
What? Why? You said it yourself, you're still not working, right? Sure, I know you said you're waiting to work at your buddy's company, but you know as well as I do starting from scratch in a new industry is going to be a huge amount of work. Come back to us and get me back these client relationships, Graham, and I'll see to it that you have a comfortable, well-paying job for the rest of your life.
Won't you understand unless I repeat myself?
Understand what?
That you're nothing but a despicable, low-life shit weasel who kept hitting on my wife behind my back. Why would I want to work at your company?
Grr!
I'm gonna need you to stop wasting my time with these asinine messages too, Ken.
Fine. Point taken. I'll leave Olivia alone, okay? I promise. Now come and get your job back.
You seem to be missing a key point here. Tell me, Ken, is your company even functional right now? I heard from some of my old coworkers earlier today that the entire company handed in their resignations in one fell swoop. I really would have to be the low IQ, pea-brained moron you think I am to come back to a company that's not even operational. Good luck, Ken. I'm sure there's no problem you can't fix, what with having an elite education and all.
Oh my God! My company! I don't know how much longer it has left.
That's not my problem.
Graham!
I genuinely hope you can turn things around. I know how hard your dad worked to build that company. And as unfortunate as it is that he ended up with a son like you, it'd still kinda suck to see it go under. That said, I won't have any part in it. You're on your own now. As for you, I couldn't care less what happens to you from here on out. Grr! Later! The next day, Ken launched a sudden assault on our house. By sudden assault, I mean he showed up on our doorstep with a megaphone screaming, "Ken, please come back," to the supreme annoyance of our neighbors, resulting in the police being called and him being carted away in the back of a patrol car. But actually, I heard all of this from an old neighbor because me and Olivia were no longer there. That's right, we'd already moved into a bigger house in the next town in preparation to accommodate our growing family. That said, we took great pleasure in seeing the videos of him being handcuffed and bundled into the back of the cop car that went viral on local social media pages. Unfortunately for Ken, it didn't stop there. Before the day was up, footage of his arrest was being circulated on the social media pages of every rival company in his industry. At this point, the destruction of his reputation was just insult on top of injury. Realistically, between the near-total lack of clients and mountains of debt he was in, the company was already screwed, but his arrest proved to be the final nail in the coffin. And before the week was up, he was filing for bankruptcy. I wondered where he went next. Until one day, a buddy messaged me saying he saw him working on a construction site. Apparently, he saw him crying his eyes out with a look of abject despair on his face while being shouted at by someone who appeared to be his boss.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hello, this is Sanford Manufacturing, right? Always great doing business with you. I hope I didn't catch you at a bad time. I'm sorry for the sudden text. This is Caroline Matthews with Matthews Industries.
Oh, yes, good evening. You must be Mrs. Matthews, wife of Mr. James Matthews of Matthews Industries, is that right? No problem. What can I do for you, Mrs. Matthews?
I'm so sorry about earlier. I visited you without an appointment. I was really short on time. I hope I didn't interrupt anything important. And thank you for allowing me to exchange line info with you. Just so much easier conversing this way.
Oh, please, it was no problem. We've been doing business for a long time. We've been rescued by Matthews Industries countless times in the past. So, if there's anything I can do for you, just ask. When we exchanged line info today, you mentioned that there was something you wanted to discuss. Something that was confidential. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. I really couldn't talk about it when I met you. Like you said, it's confidential. And it's something that could be potentially quite devastating for your company. It would cause quite a commotion if one of your employees heard about this and rumors started to spread. You know what I mean.
Information that's devastating for Sanford Manufacturing? Now, what could that be? I'm not aware of any company takeover or anything like that.
Oh, no, not a takeover bid or anything like that. It just involves our two companies. I'm really sorry to break this to you, but as of the end of next month, we will cease all business cooperation with Sanford Manufacturing. From the following month, we will no longer require that you provide us with your products. We will receive the last order on the 31st of the next month, and after that, I regret to say, no further business will be conducted. We at Matthews Industries really appreciate your partnership these many years and hope you will continue to prosper.
Pardon me? Are you saying that you're going to sever all ties with our company? But we currently have a major product consignment agreement with Matthews Industries. That would be devastating for our company. Are you sure of this? Has Mr. Matthews agreed to this? What did you mean by cease business relations?
Exactly what that means. There will no longer be any business transactions between Matthews Industries and Sanford Manufacturing. It can't be any more clear than that. I really hate to do this. Our companies have been doing business for years, but it just couldn't be avoided. It's nothing personal. We had to make some drastic cuts in our operation. Regarding your current products that you provide us with, We are in the process of ordering from a foreign manufacturer at a way lower cost. But the quality is just as good. I'm sorry, but it's competition. We have to survive in this dog-eat-dog world. Therefore, all existing contracts with Sanford Manufacturing has been terminated. I was going through all of our current contracts, and the product agreement with you was just coming up, and I looked into it, compared prices, and came to the conclusion that we would not extend that contract.
This is all so sudden, Mrs. Matthews. I don't know how to react to all this just yet. But such a drastic decision at a time like this would disrupt our entire operation. Our contract agreement with Matthews Industries is a major business partnership. I'm sure you are well aware. And you're telling me that this substantial business collaboration will suddenly end next month? It's unthinkable. Do you realize the impact this will have on our entire business operation?
I understand your concern, but the decision has already been made. We are not exactly doing well either. We have to implement these drastic measures to weather the storm. Like I said, it's nothing personal, all business. I really hope you understand. It's a decision we had to make.
I understand that you have your company's interest in mind, and the economic situation is not all that great, but from next month? Seriously? I wish we had more advance notice so that we could get our marketing team to somehow cover the shutdown, or in a worst case scenario, cut some of our staff. I really can't accept this decision. We should have been given ample warning. To be honest, if you cut us off, we may go bankrupt. Do you realize that? I would like to speak directly to Mr. Matthews regarding this matter. This certainly is not like him. I need to hear it directly from him.
I'm sorry, but that's just not possible. My husband is currently on business overseas and won't be returning until the end of next month. He left me in charge. His schedule is fully booked. If there's anything you have to say, you talk to me.
That's not possible. I need to speak with him. I beg of you, please. Could you think this over? We've been business partners for a very long time. Doesn't that count for anything? We've done your company numerous favors in the past. Please, I ask that you reconsider. Our companies have been in business together since my grandfather's time. To cut us off like this is just not right. I took over this business from my father, and we continue to do business together for the last 15 years. We're almost like family. As for our product, we even have orders from overseas, much less domestic clients. The quality and workmanship of our products are top-notch. A cheaper foreign product would never match our high standards. So I ask you, please reconsider. Let me speak with Mr. Matthews. After all these years, are we not allowed this courtesy?
Please, this is getting tiresome, Mr. Sanford. I wish you would just accept this business decision and end this pleading.
Pardon me?
All this talk of long business relations, or that we're like family, or about the quality and skill of your workers, it means nothing. What it comes down to is profits. Contemplating all what you said would only hamper our business. You're in the business of making money, right? And we're not a charity either. As long as we can obtain products that are inexpensive, we will be fine. A very simple business decision, don't you agree? My decision will allow our company to increase our profits and expand the company. And eventually my son will take over as president and all will be fine and dandy. That's all I'm concerned about.
I'm not sure what you're getting at, Mrs. Matthews.
You just talked about your grandfather starting the company, so you're well aware, aren't you? What I'm saying is, I'm Mr. Matthews' second wife.
Right. I'm aware of that, but...
Which makes it all easier for you to understand. I have a son. He just graduated from university. But he's not directly related to Mr. Matthews, the president, and so he's sort of in an inferior position when it comes to family ties, I'm sure you understand. For example, there's the problem of Mr. Matthews' son, who is 3 years older than my son. So what I'm trying to do here is build a sound business record for him so that when the time comes to select the next president, my son will take the credit for making the company such a success and thus be appointed the new president. What I'm trying to achieve is to convince everybody that my son is a much better choice than his real son. That's the reason I'm making this sound decision to cut costs. We cut production costs, such as with Sanford Manufacturing, and voila! Profits go up and everyone's happy.
Let me get this straight, Miss Matthews. You're doing this in order for your son to someday become president, and you're cutting ties with our company just to achieve this goal of yours?
Simply put, but yes, you're exactly right. That's the plan. This stuff you talk about, family ties, quality products, good craftsmanship, none of that matters. Of the customers buying our products, none of them can tell the difference. They're not that sophisticated. The products you make all look the same. Everything is hidden from view anyway. Reminds me of that saying, if it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, and quacks like a duck, then it may just be a duck. So that's why I'm cutting you guys out. We'll be getting our products from a cheap foreign manufacturer, which will save us a bundle, and we'll see our profits skyrocket.
Are you serious, Miss Matthews? You cut us out just for that reason? So let me get this straight, Miss Matthews. You don't care what happens to our company as long as you get your profit, is that it? Do you realize what you're doing is totally unprofessional? This is completely unconscionable. No way that this is legit.
Professional or not, it does not concern me in the least bit. Nobody gives a hoot if an insignificant company like Sanford goes under. It's of little consequence to us. There are plenty of other companies out there like yours, and way cheaper. What's more, my son's career and my future is on the line here. I will do anything to make that a reality. There is no way I'm going to throw in the towel for that patronizing son of his. That will never happen, you mark my words. This is all getting very tedious. For the last time, we at Matthews Industries no longer need your services. So now, no more of this begging to reconsider BS. Just accept the fact and go on your way if you don't mind. I'm really busy right now.
Okay, Miss Matthews, I hear you loud and clear. As you wish. We will no longer provide you with our product. The last batch we shipped should arrive by the end of the week. That will be the final shipment. Please convey our appreciation to Mr. Matthews for the many years of business that we enjoyed, and we regret this unfortunate outcome.
No way! Why would I do that? Anyway, he's overseas for God knows how long. Too much trouble to get in touch with him. Just don't show your face around our offices anymore. Thank you.
Hello, this is James, right? James Sanford? Did I get the right line address? This is Randy from the time working over there. Holy smoke, Randy! How the hell have you been? It's been ages. I hear you took over your father's business. How's that going? It's going great, thanks for asking. It was a bit hectic at first, but business is gradually picking up. I really have to thank you for that, Jim. I was able to apprentice at Sanford Manufacturing for a few years and learned some very important lessons while I was there. It was tough at times, but the experience I gained was invaluable. I learned that quality, skill, and hard work is important, and what's more, you taught me the importance of maintaining relationships. But I only just started, so we're still struggling, but I'm optimistic. Come on, Randy. You're being way too modest. I saw the article in the Times the other day. Something about an up-and-coming young company president. There was a big photo of you in the article. You're looking pretty good. Please, Jim. You're blowing it all out of proportion. The Regional Times is just some 3-page local paper. Nobody reads that thing. Still, they wrote about you. Local paper or not, I never got that kind of treatment. You should be proud. Man, I'm so glad you were so successful. I'm looking forward to see how you'll do going forward. I'm rooting for you all the way, Randy. It's all thanks to you and your father. You guys took me on as an apprentice and really showed me the ropes. It got me in shape to take over my father's business. Enough about me, Jim. I recently heard about the trouble you were in. The story is that Matthews Industries terminated the contract you had with him. I thought you were in good terms with him. I remember I dealt with him regularly while I was there. They seemed pretty content with the products you were providing. What's up? Wow, that was fast. It's a fairly interrelated industry, I suppose. Yeah, I heard of several other companies similar to yours that we do business with and they got sacked. I got a call from one of them that even one of the major outfits got the boot, meaning Sanford Manufacturing. Yeah, it's true. We got the boot all right. The wife of the president, Mrs. Matthews, sort of just decided on it out of the blue with no advance warning. We were taken completely off guard. I'm not sure what Mr. Matthews feels about all this. Apparently he's overseas at the moment and won't be back for quite some time. So there is nothing I can do, really. Anyways, it's pretty devastating for our firm. If only we had a little advance warning, we could have taken the necessary steps. I won't go so far as saying we'll go bankrupt or anything, but I don't know what to do. I don't want to have to lay anybody off, but I may have to down the line. I have a suggestion, Jim. If you've already been cut off by Matthews Industries, what do you say about working with us? Pardon me? Like I said, we're gradually growing and I was just thinking about expanding. It may be an opportune time for us. The banks are happy with our record and they're willing to invest, so it may be a good chance to repay you for all you taught me. Besides, if Sanford Manufacturing could work with our up-and-coming company, it would certainly boost our image, not to mention our profits. To be honest, I was going to contact you a lot sooner for advice, but as you know, it's only been a few years since I ended my apprenticeship with Sanford. I didn't want people to think I was relying on you guys to run the company. Just stupid pride. I know. You had a pretty big account with Matthews Industries and figured you wouldn't give us the time of day. This may sound insensitive, but I think it's great timing. If you lost that account with MI, could you do work for us? What do you say? Are you kidding me? Of course we'll do it. I should be begging you to give us work, to be honest. Really? Are you sure? Man, that would be great. I never thought I would be able to work with a prestigious company like yours. You guys are a legend in the industry. Did you know that? Anyways, we should discuss the details on how to go forward. Would you mind if I stopped off at your company tomorrow? I mean, if you have the time, that is. I know you're busy and all. It would be great to see everybody again. It's been years. Stop by anytime you like. Pick a time most convenient for you. I'll make the time. Wait till I tell everybody who's coming. They will be overjoyed. Get ready for a wild reception, Randy. And Randy, thanks for this. You're a godsend. Please, Jim, I should be thanking you. I can finally repay you for all that you did for me. Okay then, let's talk tomorrow. I'm looking forward to seeing you again and everyone else.
Mr. Sanford, are you seeing this? Please reply, would you? I need you to ship us those products by tomorrow. Same products as before, please. How many boxes of those parts can you provide? We would prefer about 20 units or whatever you guys can manage.
Pardon me? Who's this? Oh, is this Mrs. Matthews again? I thought we concluded our business already. And what are you talking about shipments? We have no units to ship at the moment. Besides, I thought we terminated all contracts with you. You no longer wanted our business. That was last month, as I recall. Weren't you going to get your products from overseas? A more inexpensive producer or something? Wasn't that what you said?
Yes, well, the whole thing just didn't go as planned. The language barrier is so bad, nobody over there speaks any English, for God's sake. We weren't even able to put in an order for the longest time. You would think someone over there speaks English. Anyways, we finally got an order in, but then there was this labor strike over there and all operations were put on hold. Can you believe it? The products finally got loaded onto the shipping crates when a storm hit, and the ship was diverted to the nearest port, and it apparently sat in port for days. How they can even manage to maintain customers, I have no idea. Well, all this trouble only adds to the overall cost. Delay insurance, not to mention reimbursing our customers for the delay. It's just one big mess. We finally received the shipment today, and it turns out the configuration was all wrong, and the quality and craftsmanship were of really low quality. As you can probably imagine, our product processing line has stopped operation because of this inadequate component.
Oh, really? I'm so sorry to hear that. That must have been quite devastating to your overall operation.
At this rate, we may have to cut cost. We'll probably be in the red. So I figured we should give up on receiving those components from overseas. So I came to the conclusion that we will require your products again. Therefore, I'm willing to reconsider and use your products again. So if you can ship them out ASAP, I would be more than grateful. Let's forget about what I said last month and let's resume business. What do you say? I already have the contract ready, so let's get this signed and have these shipments in by tomorrow if you can. Oh, yes, and the cost must be the same as what it was for the overseas products, not a penny higher. You got that? That would mean you will be required to deduct approximately 30% from your standard pricing. I'm sorry, but times are tough.
No, Mrs. Matthews. I'm going to have to pass on this offer. I mean, seriously? Do you really think I would sign such a lopsided contract? 30%? Seriously? As a matter of fact, even if we went back to the usual price, we will never do business with Matthews Industries ever again.
Hold on a minute, Mr. Sanford. What are you saying? That you aren't going to send us the products?
That's right. You terminated our contract, so we no longer have any business relations with you. Simple as that. And I have no intention of signing any new contract with you either. We will not be producing any products for you going forward.
How could you say that? We've done business for years. We're currently in a dire situation. Are you just going to let us suffer the consequences? Just have the unit shipped to us ASAP. I demand that you do so.
Sorry, we have no connections to Matthews Industries anymore. You are no longer one of our customers, and we cut all business ties with you.
Hold on a second there. How can you even say that? Do you know how many years we've given you business? An insignificant little manufacturing firm like yours, we practically built your company. You should be grateful. You really know how to repay us for making your company a success. Such arrogance.
I should be saying that to you, Mrs. Matthews. You had a good thing going here. You had a quality product shipped to you on a regular basis without any delays or disruptions over the years. When there were any problems, We solved it immediately, sometimes even reimbursing you for any unfortunate issues. But then it just cut us off without any prior warning so you could obtain a cheaper product, which turned out not to be so cheap after all. I remember you saying that quality or past history of our relations was of no concern. Isn't that what you said? Anyway, if we made our products at a 30% discount, we'd go bankrupt overnight. We wouldn't make a cent working with you. So why would we do business with Matthews Industries if there was no incentive in doing so? After all, we are not a charity.
All right, have it your way. Forget the 30%. Just charge us at the usual price then. Just get those parts over here ASAP. No delays. You got that?
Have you even heard a word I said, for God's sake? I said we will never do business with Matthews Industries again. Do you understand English? We will no longer have any business relations. So, no more shipments. Not tomorrow. Not ever. You got that? Anyway, we have a contract with another company and our product processing line is full. No matter how much you scream bloody murder, there is nothing I can do about it. We're full up.
Have you gone totally bonkers? Do you really think you can treat us like that? We're a major company around here. You think you can continue doing business without us? We could crush your little manufacturing firm with one phone call if we had to. You're making a grave mistake by denying us. You do understand, don't you, Mr. Sanford?
Go right ahead, Mrs. Matthews. Give it your best shot. I'd really like to see you try. But I must warn you, Mrs. Matthews, you're way in over your head on this. All those companies you gave the boot to, well, as it turns out, they are all on my side on this issue. Or do you plan to bankrupt us all? All those companies have agreed to never do business with Matthews Industries ever again. We've contacted all our other business partners regarding this matter, and they have all agreed to cease business with you. By the looks of it, you seem to have lost all your clients. Congratulations.
Seriously? Does that mean we won't be able to receive any shipments from you or any other company? You have to be kidding me. How do you expect us to continue doing business? All our operations will be forced to stop. You can't do this.
Yeah, looks that way.
Please, James, I ask you to reconsider. I apologize, so please, let's talk about this. I'm sure we can work something out. There's no need to cut all ties, right? Please, I beg of you. At this rate, our company will go bankrupt.
I don't think anybody will care if a company run by the likes of you goes under. You have no understanding or compassion for people. People run these companies, not machines. Even if your son took over and ran the company, I doubt it would have lasted very long.
How could you say such a thing? My son would have made a great CEO. But please, help me out here, please. Let's forget the past and start over, please.
You dug your own hole, Mrs. Matthews. I suggest you find a shovel and dig yourself out somehow. Connection to people is very important in a business like this, or for that matter, any business, big or small. Don't ever trash talk small businesses like ours ever again. You got that? Okay then. I'm really busy. I better get back to work. Thank you for all these years of business. I wish you luck. Goodbye, Mrs. Matthews. A few days later, Mrs. Matthews visited the company asking for a meeting, but I refused to meet with her. She stood her ground and would not leave. She eventually made such a scene that the police were called, and she was hauled away screaming and yelling. A few weeks later, Mr. Matthews came back from overseas, frantically demanding why the company was on the verge of bankruptcy. I heard he was furious with his wife and son and had them kicked out. Apparently, he divorced her a few months later. Mr. Matthews came to my office and apologized for the damage his wife caused all the subcontractors and offered to reimburse us for any damages incurred while he was gone. He brought all his staff members to my office and then begged us to reconsider. We all gave in, and eventually we resumed business with MI under more favorable conditions. Last I heard, the former Mrs. Matthews and her son moved back east to her family's home. If only she hadn't been so greedy, she could have led a quiet and comfortable life as the president's wife. What a total waste. She could have been happy. I'm super busy now that we're doing business with Randy's firm and with the rekindled relationship with Matthews Industries. Business is currently going great. We even had to add more staff because of the heavy workload. This was all thanks to Randy, who contacted me at just the right time and saved the day. Having good friends is important. What else can I say?
Mom, hey, where did you go? Right now, Dad is looking all over for you.
Huh? Is this you, Ed? Are you using your dad's phone again to try and text me?
Well, Mom, I don't have a phone of my own to text you from, so I had to take his.
And a boy in 5th grade doesn't need to have a smartphone at his age, right?
I know that, but Dad told me that when I needed to talk with someone else in the family while they are out, I could use his phone and text. Also, Dad had a small accident with his hand, right? And so he can't use his hand to text you right now.
Yeah. I knew that man was going to care more about you than anyone else. But if he really wants to spoil someone, he's better off doing that with my daughter, who looks just like me, since she is definitely the better looking one of you two.
You're talking about Avery, right?
Yes, that's right. You already know that I'm in love with all things that are both cute and beautiful. And that's why I'm only in love with your cute older sister, Avery.
Mom.
Just a second ago, you had asked me where I am right now, right? Well, I'm at the airport right now.
The airport?
I'm going to be taking your sister to France with me, and she's going to become a supermodel with the help of her mom.
She's going to become a supermodel in France?
I'm going to take her to Paris with me, and we'll find her a modeling agency who will take great care of her. And you are far too ugly to be a kid of my own, so I won't be needing you anymore. Well, you only ever ended up as a kid of mine because your dad brought you along with him in the marriage, so I don't even have to call you a part of my family anymore. So please don't think anything bad of this, okay?
Dad is asking, have you filed out any diverse paperwork yet?
Tell him that the paperwork is sitting on the coffee table in the living room.
All right. Well, then that's fine with me, is what he said.
Huh?
Well, Dad just said that about you a second ago, but I feel the same way about you as well now. Have fun in France, Mom. Bye-bye.
Hello, Ed? This is your phone number, right, Ed?
And who am I speaking to right now?
This is your mom, Andrea.
What?
I've heard about how you've been doing so well for yourself, Ed. So now you can look up to me as your mom since I was able to get you to this point, and I can feel good about myself again as well.
I'm sorry to say this, but I don't believe I'm speaking with my mom right now.
Well, it has been 10 years since we last met, and I'm sure my number is different from the one I had back in those days. But look, I'm your mom. And if you're wondering how I got your number, I was able to get it from your aunt. Your aunt was kind enough to tell me that you're getting into the showbiz yourself there, huh? And that you'll be going into Hollywood for your debut, right?
That freaking dog. She's really gone and done it now.
Hey, come on now. You should not be speaking about your aunt in that manner, okay? It's because of her that I'm finally able to talk to you again, and you can finally speak with your mother once more. I bet you're so happy to finally hear from your mom again after 10 long years of waiting, right?
But I already told you, this is not my mom's number that I'm currently speaking to. Also know that she has only one phone and she's never told me nor anyone else that she has another. So tell me, what the hell do you want?
Come on, Ed. You don't have to give me such a cold shoulder. I know it's been a long time since you've heard from me, but you should still know how to talk to your own mother, right?
Look, can you quit it with all that BS?
Huh?
Are you kidding me? Can you not tell by the way I'm talking to you right now that I don't see you as my mother anymore and that I never want to again?
Huh?
You and that girl of yours, both Dad and I don't care about you guys. And all you do is bring back our bad memories by talking to me again. So go the hell away. And never try texting or calling me again.
Ed! This drama that I'm watching right now, I can tell just by looking at your face that you're the one playing the rival to the main character, right? I saw your name in the opening credits, and that face of yours is the same as when you were back in 5th grade. I totally get it now. Back in the day, you were a bit of an ugly duckling, but now that you've grown into a young adult, I have to say that you are one handsome-looking gentleman. Amazing. So you really are my son after all.
Ugh, you're texting me again?
Hey, do you really think that's the right way to talk to your own mother? It's not. So you'd better start talking to me in a polite manner from now on.
You're not my mom. And that is why I'm talking to you like the annoyance you really are.
All right already, all right. I get it that it's because of me that you've become this amazing little actor. It's because of all that wishing and praying that I did to have a child of mine turn into an actor that you've become such an amazing person, right?
Seriously?
And compared to you, your older sister Avery, well, let's just say she's not doing as great.
What's happened to Avery?
Well, her and I are coming back to the States soon.
Weren't you and her trying your hardest to get her to become a supermodel or something?
Well, that didn't ever really turn into anything more than just a dream. I thought for sure that since she's a natural beauty, she'd be able to make it in one of those agencies over there, but of course, those French have a different idea of who's beautiful or not. So in the end, any agency we went to never gave her a chance to model, and any private work she tried never ended up being scouted. And what's worse is after failure, she began to eat a lot more bread and stuff to fight the stress. And let's just say she's gained a few pounds. Really, she's no longer a beauty whatsoever, but rather the definition of an obese person. Seriously, I cannot use her at all now. But this is why, to me, you were the perfect son any mother could ever ask for. My prayers were finally heard, and you turned into the most handsome-looking young man imaginable.
Well, I didn't get this far because of you.
Huh?
The only reason I've become an actor is because I wanted to become one. So I put in the effort to get to where I am now. To tell you the truth, it's supposed to be the manager's job to be here with me to help me diet and make sure I stay up to date on roles, right? Well, you haven't been here for me these past 10 years, nor have you ever been my manager. So screw you.
Huh?
Also, people don't just make it in a modeling or acting business by looking good.
Ed!
You have to be able to act as well, whether it's on stage or in the studio. And you have to be able to work to become the character you want to be, which takes weeks to perfect.
Wait a minute.
So you have no right coming to me acting as though you've put any work or care into me? Therefore, please, for God's sake, just leave me the hell alone so that you don't cause me any headaches anymore. Seriously, stop talking to me. I'm not messing around right now.
Seriously, Ed? Don't you think you're going a little too far with all this after having blocked your own mother's number now?
Are you kidding me?
I had my phone number changed so that I could get in touch with you again.
I told you already, stop trying to get in touch with me anymore.
Oh my. Well, why would I ever want to stop talking to my son? Are you really sure you want me to stay away from you even longer than I already have? I plan to become your manager soon so that you can become even more famous.
What?
You don't have to try and keep me at bay anymore. I promise that I'll do everything in my power to make sure you get as many roles as you'd like. And if you're worried about me having any experience, just know that I've been the manager for Avery for the past 10 years, and I did a wonderful job at it.
By wonderful, do you mean you failed her on multiple occasions, and that's why you're back?
Huh?
As from what you've told me, you didn't take Avery anywhere as her manager, and only led her to becoming fat and sad about her life. You told me that yourself the last time we chatted about her.
Well, that was something else. It had nothing to do with me as her manager, rather do with her way of thinking. She didn't have the drive she needed to become a supermodel, and that's why things didn't work out for her. But you're different. I know that with my help, I can take you to the top.
Well, I'm already on my way there.
Huh?
My manager happens to be one of the most well-known in the Hollywood world, and she also happens to be my mom.
Your mom? Ah, right. So this is your way of saying that you want me to be your manager, right? Understood, Eddie. I'll make sure to make you huge in Hollywood, and make sure that you and I never have to worry about falling out of the spotlight ever again.
Wrong. I'm talking about how I already have a manager and mother, and she's not you.
What? What do you mean by that?
My dad happened to get remarried about 8 years ago.
Huh?
And not only did Dad end up getting remarried, but he did so with a woman who he ended up having a baby girl with. And she has the most beautiful face and figure. But, unlike you, she's not the kind of person to only care about those that are attractive looking, and is willing to love everyone in her family very much. And so because of her warmth, I've been able to forget about the cold past that I had with you as my mother, and can now live a new life as a successful man.
That man, he got remarried to a new woman? And not just that, but had a girl with her?
And that's why I've been saying that you're not my mother this whole time. It's been 10 years since you left Dad and I, so I have zero clue why you're back here now trying to talk to me like you ever cared about my family. But if you really think that you have any chance of getting back into this family as my dad's wife, then you're strictly mistaken, as there's zero chance of that happening now.
What?
That's what I thought.
I have no other choice right now. 10 years ago, my dad, who was a very wealthy person, passed away. And of course, after his death, I received a lot of that money in his will from him. And when that money came to me, I thought it would be the perfect chance for me to get my daughter to become a famous model. And that's why I took her with me to France and started to make her model.
I see. So that's what Dad was explaining to me about after you left us?
During the first year, I was never able to land her any modeling gigs, and so I just thought that was a part of the industry. And since she didn't have a name for herself yet, I decided it would be better for the two of us to start conforming to life there first before getting into modeling. But then it was 2 years, and then 3 years, and time just kept on going without us ever seeing any real work come for us. And during that time, Avery graduated from an international high school there. That was the moment I thought she'd really put all her time into modeling, without the need to study, but I was wrong. But then I started to really have a closer look at her, and it appeared to me she already gave up. And the food there had gotten the best of her. She was no longer the beautiful young woman I pictured her as, rather a model for some weight loss ad. And it wasn't just that. I noticed that a lot of the money from my father had dwindled away, and so I had to make the choice to bring us back to the U.S.
What?
The house that your sister and I had been planning on living in is no longer there for us. And so right now, we don't have a place to go home to.
Right. Currently, your mom is in an elderly home, spending the last couple of years of her life being cared for by the nurses there.
What?
I heard from her that she used the money left over by her husband and the money from the house when she sold it to get into a really nice home where there are all sorts of amenities for her.
You're kidding. So that means there really is no place for us to go?
And that's not all, actually. You ended up taking your daughter away with you to another country, even though she never really wanted to. And while there, you used up not only your own money that you received from your late dad, but also the money that was supposed to be left for her. There were apparently a few other people that were supposed to get the money from your late father, who never did because of you.
What are you talking about? Where is my mom right now?
I have no clue where she chose to go, besides that it's good for her.
What?
So far, everything I've been telling you has been okay to tell you, as the other parties involved don't seem to mind you knowing. But even if I did know more about your mom, I wouldn't tell you, as she never gave me the permission to.
Hold on a second. If you're not going to tell us where she is, how are Avery and I going to live?
Think about that one yourself, Andrea.
Huh?
There's another thing. As for that aunt of mine that ended up causing you to learn about my current situation in the first place, the whole family has stopped talking to her. So if you're trying to go for her for more information regarding me, you won't learn anything more than you already know.
Huh?
Now, I have to get ready to head into the studio for another session of takes, so I'll be going now.
Huh? Wait a second, Ed.
I'm blocking you again.
Right now I'm stuck in a cheap motel with Avery, and we don't have much money left to keep us here. When it's all gone, we'll have to move into the streets. Hey, I'm only asking you this one time to please give me a place to live, just for a little bit. Ed!
There was one last thing that I never ended up explaining to Andrea, and it all had to do with the information that was left over regarding her late father's money and assets, and who they all went to. On that sheet of paper, she could probably take a closer look at it and learn where her mother ran off to, had she just taken the time to do so. Of course, Andrea or Avery could still think of that as an option and take a look for themselves, but I was never gonna recommend that to her, as I just don't care about either of them. So whatever happens next with those three will be left unknown to me. And a couple days later, Andrea and Avery both appear to have figured out where I was currently working in Hollywood and came to find me. But of course I told security of this, and they made sure to stay on the lookout for these two. And when they were spotted around the studio, security called the police, who then came and grabbed the two of them, where they later found some information on distant relatives of them who they ended up calling to come get them. And within a day, a black minivan pulled up outside the police station to pick those two up, and then they were gone for good. My dad later called me to tell me that distant relative was Andrea's younger sister, who ended up taking those two into her company to work for her day and night for the rest of their lives. It was such a relief to learn that Andrea and Avery could no longer touch any of us anymore, and ever since then, I've been able to live in peace. Thank you so much for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Jill, when are you going to be coming back to my brother's house after being at your parents' place for so long? Hi there, Maya. His name's Little Man, right? Well, it's been 3 months now since you gave birth to Little Man there, right? Little Man? Yeah. There have been a few things going on here, and so I haven't been able to leave just yet. And my older brother is all right with you just staying there for that long and never coming back to him? Of course he is. And I'm not going to be here too much longer. Actually, it was him that told me to stay here a bit longer in the first place. I had some things that I needed help with, as well as needing to help with. Oh, is that so? So that's what's been going on there. What do you mean by that? Nothing in particular. I didn't mean to make that seem like anything, actually. I just thought that since it's been so long since you've left your parents' place, maybe you and my brother ended up getting a divorce or something serious? LOL. I see. Well, there's nothing like that going on between us, so don't worry. Your brother and I still love one another very much, and have even had a baby now to prove that. Well, that's too bad, actually. LOL. Ugh. It was only a matter of time. I knew you'd say something like that, Maya. I'm sure that you're trying to mess with me to make your feelings for me known, but because of how much you hate me for no reason, it's actually quite funny, LOL. What? Looks like my boy is waking up now, so I have to go and see if he needs any food. See ya. Axel, thank you for coming over here a few days ago. It was nice of you to bring all those snacks for us, as well as the blanket I'd asked for.
Hey, Jill, don't worry about it. How's your mum's lower back been doing? I know it was in pretty rough shape the last time I came over. Seems like she was still having a tough time bending over to grab things.
Actually, she's gotten a whole lot better now, which is a huge surprise for me. And I feel that me not being around the house anymore might be all right with her. She seems to have a hang on things again, and doesn't really ask me to help her either now. And she's even able to help my dad again, so that's some miraculous progress.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm glad to hear that.
But based on timing, there's still another 2 weeks, right? I know that I'll have to come back there at least once soon, but having to bring the baby with me might make it a bit of a challenge, and he's so used to being here now.
You have a good point there. I'm sure you want to get everything you need to taken care of quickly as possible. So it's better to not have our baby mixed in all the commotion.
Well, while I go, I'll make sure that my parents keep a good eye on him, and see if he even notices me being gone. That way I'll have my hands free and should get everything handled within a day.
Oh, well, if you do that, he might be alright. If you don't have a problem with doing that, then I'm totally on board.
Then I'll go ahead and have a talk with my parents about that and the plan. Since my mom's back is getting better, I think she won't mind spending the day alone with her grandbaby. LOL.
Alright. And when you have more details on what will happen with that, let me know. Now I need to start getting back to my office to finish up today's work.
Okay. Thank you for everything, Axel, and I'll talk to you again soon.
Jill, are you on your way here right now?
Yeah? I took off just a half an hour ago in the car, and I'm at a rest stop right now going to the bathroom before getting back on the road.
I see.
Did something happen that I should be aware of?
Well, something that's a bit of a problem has come up. I was just asked to come into work today out of nowhere. I was told by my manager that one of our systems is having some issues and that I'm the only one that should know how to handle and fix said issue.
Oh, is that so? Well, that kind of hampers our plans a little.
I think if the issue is what I think it is, then I'll be able to come back home by later this evening.
All right. I'll do what I can when I arrive at the house. But it'll probably take me a bit longer because I won't have you around to handle the heavy stuff.
I'm sorry about this, but try and take it easy. If need be, you can call my uncle and I'm sure he'll come to help.
I'll see how everything goes for me first. Good luck with work today, and I hope you're able to fix that issue soon. Jill! You're coming over right now, right? But be warned that you're not going to be able to get inside the house. Because this house is now going to be my house. I've already gone and sold all your things to a pawn shop just a bit ago, and used the money from your things to pay for the moving truck to bring all my furniture and stuff. LOL. Man, I was kicked out of that apartment I'd been living in before by myself, and this whole time I was looking for a good place to move into. But because of you guys, I've been able to move from that musty one-room apartment into this large and open place. I'm so lucky. Ah, and another thing. This house is going to be where my boyfriend and I start our romantic lives together, so you are not allowed to even step onto the property. LOL. Goodbye. LOL. What? Maya, what's all this about? What is this about a huge and open house? That's... Ah, you're finally responding to me. You took so long to reply, LOL. I was in my car driving home, but right now I've stopped at a gas station to take a break and grab some food. Maya, what are you doing in some stranger's house right now? I told you. Starting today and going forward, I'll be living here with my boyfriend. In other words, you no longer have a house of your own, so go on back to your parents' house, please. LOL. How did you get into the house with it being locked? I don't ever remember you having a key to the place. When we were all back at my parents' house a while back, I found the key in my brother's key case and stole it out of there for a few hours to make a duplicate. You've gone and done yet another needless thing. Why would you do something like that? Because you and my older brother are going to be getting divorced, right? Huh? Why would we do anything like that? Because the reason for you taking so long to come back to my brother is that you wanted to stay there with your parents because you don't love my brother anymore, right? And I've noticed that ever since you went back to your parents' place, my brother had to go there more and more often. That right there is something a man would do when he realizes that his wife is never coming home and wants a divorce. LOL. I can see that you've really gone off the rails and started making up a fake scenario. But there's a reason for me staying at my parents' house a bit longer. There have been a few things going on here that required me to stay. What are those few things? Well, to start off, after having my son, my health wasn't doing too well and my energy wasn't coming back. And after around 2 months of slowly getting my energy back and planning on going home, my mom ended up pulling her lower back pretty badly. And since I still had a bit of time left before I needed to go back to work, I decided I'd stay with my parents a bit longer and help my mom around the house. But my brother has been wanting to get a divorce now too, right? I know that for sure. Because I was at my parents' house for a longer time? That's right. I'm sorry, but you're just making things up now. I know I just told you this a second ago, but I took all your things and sold them to the nearby pawn shop. LOL. So now there's not a single thing of yours left in this house for you to get. LOL. I can see that you're set on the idea that all of those things you just sold were my things. The furniture, the appliances, clothing, and so on. That's right, LOL. When I came into this house, there was nothing in any of the other rooms besides the one with all your things. So I assume my brother already moved out and back to my mom and dad's place to prepare for the divorce, LOL. Well, all of that was stuff that I didn't need. Huh? A while back, we had planned on moving out of that house. While I was back at my parents' home waiting to have my baby, Axel worked to get the house all packed up so that we could move out. And that room closest to the front door was just where we placed all my unneeded things. And all the things we plan to have taken to our new house is being kept in a storage unit close by to the house. Huh? Is that right? I'm sure when you went and sold the desk in there and my drawers, there was nothing in them, right? Did you not notice that? Now that you mention it, the person at the pawn shop never said anything about needing to remove anything from inside them. And another thing, I was planning on coming back to that house to finish cleaning all of my stuff up and selling it myself, as well as to clean out the house and make it look relatively new again. But now that you've done a lot of that, you've helped me a bunch. LOL. Huh? And so for getting that all taken care of for me, you can go ahead and use the money you made selling my leftover things on whatever you want. Wait, could that have all been you trying to mess with me again by thinking that you could force me out of the house? Well, thanks for that. What the heck? You're just trying to act all tough now because I've stolen your house. LOL. Well, no matter what you try to say to me, my boyfriend and I are making this house ours now, and we're going to renovate it any way we please. Okay, do whatever you want with the place. You're still going to act tough in front of me? LOL. I'm not going to feel bad for you after doing this, so don't get your hopes up that you'll get the house back. Huh? We have already changed the name on the front of the house to ours, and we've gotten rid of all your things in this place. So no matter what, no matter how you try and cope with it, this is my house. If you come here, we'll call the police on you. LOL. I still have some things to say. What now? Huh? You can do whatever you want there, but only for today. Huh? I was only planning to use today to clean the place out and fix any issues that still might have plagued the house. But now that you guys have done most of that for me, I'll be handing the house back to the landlord tomorrow. Huh? Hand it over? To the landlord? Jill, what is going on now? An old man just came here and kicked the two of us out of the house. And just before he had the two of us kicked out, he told us to both clean all the corners of the house until it shined and there were no more stains. And everything we had just moved inside today, all the furniture and appliances, he had us take them all outside and into the yard. I had just made our room into a cute and beautiful space for my boyfriend and I, and that man had us tear it all down and ruin it. And at the end of all this, my boyfriend yelled at me saying he never asked to have something like this happen to him, and he ran off. What is wrong with this geezer? You still don't understand? What am I supposed to understand after all of this? Do you know who the owner of that house actually is? I do. This house belongs to my brother, right? He was the one that bought this whole house the moment you got married to him. I remember how it was so old and run down when he first bought it. But then he did a huge reformation on the house and made it look so nice that even I was jealous of it. And that's why I've come to take it now. Well, that house is the place that your brother and I have been renting from a distant uncle of yours. Huh? Jeez. I'm glad that I kept the fact that we were moving out a secret from you and your family for a while. If I told you about this all sooner, you might have started to act like even more of a spoiled brat, and we might have had to call the police on you or something for trying to trespass. Why would you do that? Because you'd be trespassing. Well, actually, you still have been since that's not our house. Maya, really, you've really done it this time. You're lying, right? Axel! Where did you and Jill move to now? Tell me the address, please.
What do you want? I don't have time for you right now, Maya.
I tried to talk with Jill some more about this, but I think she's gone and blocked me now. So I can only talk to you now, Axel.
By the way, just a few days ago, didn't our uncle have you taken care of after going into his house?
Well, I don't want to be around him anymore, and that's why I'm going to come to you now.
You think so?
At this point, I'd even be okay with living around some ugly hag like Jill, because I'd at least have a place to sleep. Ugh, if I don't hurry up, he's going to come and get me again. Tell me where your new house is now.
You think I'm going to let you come and live with us after you said such horrible things about my wife?
Huh?
For a while now, the two of us have been wanting to go overseas, and I think it's about that time. Yep. I'm sure you were aware that I work in the same company as Jill does. But for a while now, we've had plans on moving out of the country to go live somewhere in Europe with our baby boy. So we're in New York at the moment, staying in a company house, getting some training so we can be relocated to an office over there.
New York? That's too far for me to drive all the way to.
Stop acting like a brat and go back to your uncle. I'm sure that he's willing to let you start working for a company he owns even.
He told me that I'd have to go to every floor of the office building and clean all the toilets on each floor for him, and I can't use the elevator.
Really? Well, that seems like a good way to get you to stop acting so spoiled and learn how to become a responsible young adult.
It's not good.
Do your best, Maya.
I don't want to. That last conversation that my husband and his sister had over text was later shown to me by him. But right after that, he told me that he really wants to move overseas now and get away from his sister as soon as possible. But I told him we still have training to complete yet, and that I want our boy to at least be 1 year old before we go, and so he'll have to wait. LOL. And as for Maya, who's now under the care of her distant uncle who's even allowed her to work for him, she's doing just as she'd said, and is having to clean toilets on every floor of that office building 3 times a day. And since she never was the kind of person to go out a lot and move, her body had a hard time keeping up with the stairs she had to go up and down, leaving her in pain as her muscles cramped up. But I've heard from Axel that the next thing his uncle has planned for her is that once she's gained the strength to start getting all the cleaning done on time, he'll begin to give her even more tasks so that she never feels the job is easy. And by doing that, she'll hopefully begin to have a change of heart and realize that she can't force her way into everything without there being consequences. I just hope that plan works, and that one day my son can meet his only aunt back in the US. But if that can't happen, it's probably for the better. LOL.
Yo, leader of these stupid contractors. We are going to make your delivery date even sooner.
Good evening, Nick. You can call me Candace, by the way. I understand that my company is full of contractors that supply parts for you, but it'd be nice if you still referred to me by my actual name, please.
Sure. So you're gonna get those parts to me even sooner, right?
I'm sorry to say this, but I don't believe that we can.
Huh? Are you kidding me right now? You're nothing more than the leader of a small contractors group who does nothing more than make spare parts for larger firms like me. And you're saying you can't get a job done sooner for me?
I'm just telling you the reality of the situation, and asking for those parts sooner isn't going to happen.
Then in order to make things go more quickly over at your factory, I'm going to be sending some of my men over to help. Mike, Brent, and Stuart.
Huh? Are you sure you want to send those 3? As far as I'm aware, they're all your top 3 performing workers, and they shouldn't be asked to come help with my team. And haven't they been with you since you started?
What difference does that make to me? I'm sending them to help you out because those 3 ended up stabbing me in the back. So I had them all fired for that.
Don't you think you've gone a bit too far by doing that to them? They might even take action against you for doing something like that.
Well, it's not like I fired them wrongfully. Those 3 men wanted to change their occupations.
They wanted to change? Wait, you have to understand that those 3 are too old now to be changing their lines of work now.
Jeez. No matter how much I try and break things to you, you can't seem to get a grasp of things. The reason I'm giving them up is because I've hired some friends of my own, and I needed to make space on my payroll, and did so by firing those 3 geezers.
You hired your own friends?
I had some friends who went to the same university as me who said they were looking for some work. And they told me they wanted an easy job that paid them well. And so I made it seem as though those 3 old men stabbed me in the back some way, and then had them fired to make room for my buddies.
Are you being serious?
I'm being very serious right now. So let's get back to what I came here to talk about. I don't need those 3 anymore, so you can go ahead and take them on as your employees and get the work I'm asking for done quicker. Then you won't have to keep making excuses for why you can't get any parts to me.
Hold on. I understand that you want this conversation to wrap up pretty quickly here, but I just want to make sure I have this all down correctly. You originally asked me to have my product to you sooner than the date we had agreed on, but I told you that no matter how much harder I pushed my workers, that wouldn't be possible. And so now you're going to give me 3 of your best men because you've hired some of your own friends to take their spots, and want your 3 best men to help my factory get said work done. However, what happens if we're still unable to get that work done at an earlier date?
As long as you take on those 3 old men, I don't care if you continue aiming for our previously discussed target date.
Understood. So that's going to be our agreement then today?
Correct. So what do you think?
Well, actually, I have one last thing to ask. I'm not completely sure what kinds of skills and trades these 3 men I'm about to hire have, but are you really sure you're okay handing them off to me?
Those 3 are able to get any work you ask them to get done. And they're all willing to work overtime whenever asked to make sure any quotas are hit. And as for their skills, you don't even have to worry about that, considering they've all worked pretty much every job they've been asked to, and have done them well.
Well, if later down the road you ask for me to give them back to your company, please be aware that I will not.
I'm never asking for them back. They've grown far too old to help me now, and most of their motivation's down the drain now. Go ahead and fire them from your company if you ended up never needing them.
Is that so? Well, if that's what you want me to agree to, then so be it.
I'm not sure how helpful those geezers will be for you, but understand that me getting rid of them will not hurt my productivity in the slightest. So they're all yours now.
Then starting tomorrow, I will be taking on Mike, Brent, and Stuart to start working for me within my company. You don't mind that at all, correct?
Go right ahead. They are already being fired from my company, so you don't need to ask me for permission before doing anything with them.
Is that so? Understood. Thank you, Nick. I'll make sure to put them all to good use.
You sure about that?
Good morning, Mike. Long time no see. This is Candace from Wilds LLC.
My oh my. If it isn't the little girl of Mr. Daniels.
You don't have to keep calling me his little girl anymore. And as of right now, I've been given his company and everything, so you can call me the CEO of Wilds LLC now.
Oh, is that right? He made sure to put his daughter through it all so that she could become the perfect young woman. I can't say the same for the little man in charge of my last job.
Are you talking about that 26-year-old man, Nick, who's taken over your previous company and has started to make a name for himself there?
Right. I'm starting to get a little worried about him, especially after what he's been doing recently.
Well, I've heard all about him.
Huh?
Just yesterday he was talking with me about what he wanted from me, as well as what all happened with you guys. He told me that he had you and 2 other men, Brent and Stuart, fired so that he could hire more of his friends to come work for him.
Is that what happened?
To me, this all seems like unfair termination of your guys' jobs there. And as for me now, I don't mind talking more about what's been happening within that company. So, do you mind telling me a bit more about what's been going on there, and why Nick thinks this is all a good idea?
Sure. As far as I'm aware, he's been trying to work on cutting costs within the company so that he looks better in front of his shareholders. But in order to do that, he began sending a lot of his company's work overseas to be done for cheaper by foreign sources.
He's having everything manufactured overseas?
If the products he was having manufactured outside the US were any good, then I wouldn't be complaining. But it seems he doesn't mind that all the products we get in are trash. Well, anyway, if you want to hear the real reason the 3 of us were fired, it's due to us all complaining about the quality of what the company was bringing in from overseas. And the day after we complained, we were all informed that we've been terminated. At least to keep things as clean as possible with the terminations, he was willing to give us all packages.
I see. So this had nothing to do with him hiring friends to work for him then. Well, have you started to think about what you want to do now?
Well, not yet. I'm not sure what to do now. I've been thinking a lot about my family now, and I've been hoping that they understand that it'll be some time before I can find new work. Not only that, but I'm also getting pretty old now,
Mike, if you don't mind, would you like to come work for me?
Well, that's...
And it wouldn't be just you that I'm asking, but Brent and Stuart as well. So what do you think?
Well, that is. I'm very thankful for you offering me a position within your company. We don't have too much longer before we all really start to consider retirement. So are you really okay with the three of us being hired into your company and working for you?
Well, to tell you the truth, I've actually begun working on creating a new department within my company. And soon I plan to hire in a lot of younger work to begin handling said new department. But I'm going to need a few men with plenty of years of experience in these fields to come in and train them so that they have a better understanding of the demands my company and this industry have. So if I have the three of you, with all the knowledge you men hold, join my company and work your last couple of years with me, then I feel that the opening of this new department will go very smoothly for me.
Is that so? Thinking that much about how to implement the three of us into your company. Thank you.
Also, having spoken to you about this, do you mind if I go and talk with Brent and Stuart now about the same thing?
Yes, please go tell them.
Then I'll plan to have them both well informed by this time tomorrow. And as for you becoming an employee within my company, I'd like you to tell me before tomorrow what days you'd like off this next year, and if you have any other demands you'd like me to meet.
Understood. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Candace, give me back those three right now.
Huh? Ah, this must be you, Nick. It's been around a year now since the last time we spoke to one another. Now, what do you mean by me handing those three back to you?
Those friends of mine that I hired to work for me ended up being completely useless. I thought for sure that since I knew all of them really well and knew the educations they had, it would work well under my leadership. But they haven't been able to do jack for me, and I can't use them anymore.
Well, that would happen, wouldn't it?
Also, here's something I heard while you've been holding on to these three. Apparently they have all been doing very well for themselves, and are considered top class in their fields now. I had to tell a lot of my customers why the quality of my products have gone down, and when explaining to them that I've gotten rid of Mike and those other two, they let me know how stupid I was.
I knew something like this would happen to you. After all, those friends of yours you've told me you hired are actually a bunch of overseas partners that you've been sending all your work off to for cheaper, hoping to save some money, right? Well, it seems that those savings you gained from doing so also ended up ruining the quality of all your products, and now you're left dealing with some very angry customers.
Please, Candace, give those three back to me so that they could fix all of this.
No way.
Why not?
They've made it very clear to me that they don't want to work under you anymore.
Well, I'll make sure to fix things. If you can get them to come back to me, I'll make sure to never rush a production ever again or ask for anything more out of your company.
Ah, no thank you.
What?
I've just finished implementing a new department into my company that has ventured out into some new technologies. And that department has already been making my company tenfold what all the other departments have made. So if I were to send those three back to you, I'd lose my biggest profit maker.
Huh?
Also, on top of that, I told you a year ago when you told me to take them off your hands that if you ever wanted them back, I'd say no. And back then I know for a fact that you agreed with me on that term. So can you please stop trying to break the promise we had?
Candace, please. I'm asking you to please. Please just forget about everything you said to me a year ago and hand those three back to me. That's all I want. I'm not joking when I said that right now. My company is in seriously hot water. If I can't get my company back to producing quality goods, then it's all gonna go under.
Well, telling me all of that isn't going to get you anywhere. I'll be going now.
Hold on a second, Candace. Mike, please. I'm asking you to please come back to my company.
If it isn't my old boss, Nick. It's been such a long time now.
I don't need you to sit there talking like I'm some old friend of yours. Now get your butt back here. I'm telling you right now that I'm willing to hire you again.
I'm sure that what you're saying right now is a load of crap, right?
What are you going on about?
I could have sworn you told Candace that you had the three of us fired to make room for some of your friends to come and work for you, right? And that's the other thing. You didn't want to make it seem as though you fired us for that reason. So you also told Candace that we wanted to change careers anyway, right?
That was...
As far as I'm concerned, you wanted to hide your true intentions from everybody by saying that. Just so you didn't have to fear being taken to court for firing us unfairly. Well, no worries, Nick. We had only been with your company since the day it was founded by your father, and had made sure to work there with all loyalty to you guys. But after being fired by you for BS excuses, I think we no longer see you as the man your father was, and that's okay.
Huh?
As of right now, Brent, Stewart, and I no longer have to be worried about what we are going to do, because we have a new boss in charge of us, who is far more caring about the experiences we have as our employees. And, unlike you, she plans to only hold on to us for the next few years, so that when it's time for us to want to retire, she'll give us a very nice package and let us go. Of course, we could come back to you when our time is up here and we've retired. But remember, we no longer feel loyal to you and your company, so I don't think you'll ever get our help when the time comes. Well, that's if your company is even around by that point.
Candace, hey, please. How about you get married to me and then start helping my company get back on its feet so that the two of us can become a power couple?
Are you kidding me?
I understand it's not what either of us want right now, but I'd much rather be married to you and keep my company than have it go under and no longer have any money. In other words, I don't have any other choice besides marrying you and getting your help. You don't even have to stay with me after my company is back on its feet. You can divorce me right after that. So please come help me.
Well, listen to this, Nick.
Yes?
I'm already married.
Huh? But your last name? That's the same name as your father's.
Well, that's because my husband ended up taking my family's name. And as of right now, we already have 2 kids, both in elementary school.
What the heck?
So we can be finished here, right?
I'm screwed.
Goodbye now, Nick. In the end, it seems that the second-generation CEO of that company ended up taking the company under. He did make mistakes by thinking he could cut costs by sending workers out to overseas partners to make parts for him. But the thing that really sunk his company was more personal. It's understandable that keeping workers for a very long time will see them costing you more money to keep employed, especially when they're good at their jobs. But Nick made a huge mistake getting rid of 3 of his best men so that he can cut costs, even though they were the ones carrying his company and making sure the quality was right. Anyway, after the loss of his company, he was still in debt to a few banks that he had been taking loans from to try and help his company. And to help start making some money to pay them off, he began working for one of his friends, at the starting level on the floor of the factory. But of course, he never lost that toxic personality of his, and so relations with the other workers within the factory began to sour. And before long, he was out of that job as well. I'm not sure what's happened to Nick since then, but I'm sure he's regretting what he did to his company a while back and will never be able to move on from it. And as for my company, we have been doing really well this year and expect to do even better these coming years thanks to the new department. However, it won't be long before I have to say goodbye to Mike and the guys, as they'll soon be on their way to retiring. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story. Zora, you get your butt over here and do the chores at once. This will be 1 week of you not listening to a single word I've been saying to you. Do you have any idea what that means for you? That means you are going to have to come here and clean up 1 week's worth of garbage. That means you're going to have to come and clean up 1 week's worth of laundry. That means you're going to have to come here and buy 1 week's worth of groceries to fill this empty fridge with. It has been 1 week now since you cleaned the house, so now everything is covered in a layer of dust. And it has been 1 week since you cleaned out the inside of my bathtub, which has led to there being a thin layer of grime forming in there that is completely disgusting. You seriously need to get a grip, woman. Now come on. Hurry up and get that tiny little butt of yours over here and do the chores. I want the chores done now. Now, 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 now. Jace, can we talk right now? There is something I'd like to ask you about, actually. Something very important that I thought was already handled.
Hey, Zora. Today is my day off, so I could talk with you all day if you'd like. Now tell me, what did you want to ask?
You talked with your mom about how I want to go back to her house during my last 3 months of pregnancy before I have to give birth, right?
Of course I spoke to her about that. When you first went over to their house about a week ago, I spoke with my mom about it, and she understood everything I was saying. At first she was totally against having you go over to her place, but when I spoke with her about how I'd have to leave to Australia for a while based off a work transfer I got, she said it should be fine letting you come. So, all in all, she did come around to saying yes and making it at least sound like she understood what you wanted to do.
I see. Well, for some reason it doesn't seem at all like she understood what you and I meant.
What? What do you mean by that?
I'll send you a screenshot of all the things your mom was saying to me today by text, and I think that'll give you a hint as to what I mean by her not understanding.
Sure. What was she going on about? You were only gone for 2 hours, and my mom was drilling into you about how you needed to come back to her house and do all those chores for her.
Ever since you and I got married, this has happened from time to time, but I had thought that me being pregnant now would get me a pass, and I wouldn't have to worry about all those things anymore. I don't think she cares about the fact that I need to rest and care for this baby.
When I spoke to her, though, she told me she understood and was fine with you going to her place. Later, I'll give her a call and explain to her in more detail what I meant by that.
All right, please do that for me.
And if she continues to act like that towards you, you don't have to bother with listening to her. Honestly, you can go ahead and just block her if you really want to.
No, I'm not going to block your mom's phone number, Jace.
Are you sure about that, though?
This is something my mom told me before, and that's that it's best to make sure both sides are completely calm before making any moves so that things are understandable for both people.
I see. So basically, there is no point in shutting her out by blocking her until she's calmed down and we understand one another.
That's right. If I were to block her right now while she's still upset, I would only be making things worse for the both of us.
Well, it's not like my mom knows anything about where your family lives, so even if you did block her, there'd be no way for her to find you if you moved back to their house.
But we should be a bit more cautious before making such a big move as that.
Understood. But really, I'm sorry that my mom is always doing things like this. I never, and I mean never, thought that this would happen again. The moment I left for Australia, it seems my mom took that as the perfect time to start bullying you again. And right after I explained to her that you just wanted to relax at her place before having our baby.
Jace.
However, due to this, I've remembered something. I've told you before about how I have an older brother who's 5 years older than me, right?
Oh, right. You told me about him once. You said that while you were in college, he went and got married and moved into a place close to your parents' house, right? However, after just 6 months, his wife and him both moved away without telling anyone in your family and has pretty much cut ties to all of you ever since.
That's right. Him and I are still talking every so often, actually, but he won't ever tell me where he and his wife moved away to. Really, we just talk whenever he wants something from me. And every single time we talk, he makes sure to tell me not to tell my mom and not to give her his contact information. That's how badly he wants to stay away from her, I guess.
Hey, don't tell me...
You know what this means. I only just started to think about this a bit more. But my mom must have really harassed the heck out of my brother's wife.
Don't you think it'd be a good idea to ask your brother about that? I'm sure if you explained to him what's been happening with me, he'd want to open up a bit.
Hey, that's a great idea. I'll ask and see. Now, I should be getting back to the States when it comes time for you to have the baby, but until then, do not be afraid to call me if you have anything you need from me. The time zone difference kinda sucks, but I'll make sure to always keep my phone by me for you.
Thank you. Will do. Zora, you went and tattled on me to Jace, didn't you? I want to know what all you told him about me. Because he was beyond upset with me when he called. He told me to stop making a pregnant woman do all my chores and that I needed to be the one taking care of you. But I know what this is all about. You are just using your pregnancy as an excuse to not come to my house anymore to clean. I don't mind you staying at my house and relaxing, but that does not mean you can slack off from doing the chores here. If you understand that, you will be working all day from sunrise to sunset starting tomorrow. I'm going to make sure you make up for that whole week of not doing any of the chores here by forcing you to do them all in one day. Come here at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. Jace, your mom is doing exactly what we predicted.
What?
Can I send you some more screenshots of the text she sent me? I can tell you what she told me, but I think it would be far more easy to understand if you just looked at these for me.
Sounds good. Please send them all to me. Thanks for those screenshots of everything. So it seems that me warning her about what she'd been doing didn't make things any better, and actually just caused her to start throwing a fit about it.
That's what it looks like. I don't think you warning her is going to be of any use to us from here on out.
I went and chatted with my brother about what happened with him and his wife, and he told me exactly what we thought. The reason those two left is because my mom would harass his wife. And I'm sure the reason why my dad divorced her a year ago had to do with the way she was behaving as well. At least that's what my brother was saying to me about my mom. My brother told me the reason he never said anything to me before about all of this is because he thought things would change after he ran away from my mom. And the reason he would always ask things from me about how my life was going was to check up on me and make sure nothing had gotten worse.
I see.
Yet my mom is doing the exact same thing she did to my brother's wife, to you now, and it doesn't seem like she's going to listen to anything. Anyway, we cannot let her behavior towards you carry on all the way up to when you have our babies, so we have to do something. My mom doesn't know anything about your parents' house, right?
I don't think so.
But who's to say she won't be able to find out?
I'm sorry this has you all worked up while you're on your business trip.
Don't be. She's my mom, so I should be sorry for all the crap she's causing you now.
I have talked with both of my parents about your mom, and they said they can help me deal with her if need be. So, do you think you can start to think of what to do after I have our babies?
So, about what to do once you've had our babies?
Of course, I'll be thinking about all of that as well. I'll take a look online and see what others have to say about things like this.
Good idea. If we don't think about what to do after you have the twins, then there's no telling what my mom might do to get to them, and to take even more advantage of you by harassing you. Honestly, I can only see one outcome to all of this. Maybe it's best that we leave some of this stuff in the hands of your parents, since they are there in the States with you and can give you the best support. When the time comes, though, where I want to pull the plug on her, I'll let you know.
Understood. Tell me whenever you want to and are ready.
Mom, I have something to tell you. Very late last night, Zora gave birth to 2 cute twins. She didn't have any complications, and we now have 2 little boys.
Is that right? Congratulations, Jace.
Now listen, Mom. Please, please, please do not do anything to make the situation any worse between Zora and you now, since she just gave birth and is very tired.
All right. I suppose I'll be going now. Thanks for the good news. I heard the news. You gave birth to both of your babies without there being any complications. However, What does it matter that you had both of those babies in the middle of the night? You don't have to carry the both of them around now, so you can come here and cook for me, clean for me, and do the laundry for me right now. I will not allow you to slack off any longer. Now you get back to my house right now, and don't you dare waste even a second more. Linda, you've given birth to a baby before, right? Excuse me? Well, I was shocked to finally see you replying to me for once, and that's the kind of rude question you're going to ask me? So does this mean you don't understand anything about what happens immediately after giving birth? Because in most people's cases, you have to stay at the hospital for a while afterwards, and for about a day, you don't have the energy to do anything besides lay in bed. I am tired of listening to your stupid arguments. Get your ass over here right now. Is that what you really want? Understood. Jace, I just got a couple of texts from your mom.
And how did things end up going?
I'm really sorry to have to say this, but it's no use anymore. She not only knows about how I had to stay up all night giving birth, but that I had to give birth to 2 babies at the same time. Yet the only thing she had to tell me was that I couldn't slack off from doing her chores and that I had to go over to her house right now. She even told me not to waste a second more.
Is that so? I guess this is it then. You can leave the rest of this to me.
Excuse me, Zora. I just heard the doorbell ring and I thought that it was you finally showing up to do all these chores. What the hell is going on right now? So this means your son has finally arrived at your house then. He also brought along some of your family as well as some of my family, which means there should be 15 people in total there right now to see you. I never said that I wanted Jace coming over here. I said that I wanted you. You. Now I have 15 people in my house right now, all doing the chores for me, and that's not what I asked for. You told me that your place hasn't been touched in forever and needed to be cleaned up badly, right? So I thought that instead of having me, a smaller woman who just gave birth to twins and is all beaten up now, come to your place, it would be better to have 15 healthy people come over and do all that work for you. But can you even imagine what things are like right now? I'm sorry, but I'm starting to feel a bit sick again, so I'm going. Zora! I am asking you to please do something about all this. At least get all of your family out of my place. I've even been trying to get Jace to do something about all of this, but he won't answer me, besides with a massive grin on his face as he vacuums the floors. Jace, what the hell have you been doing? I thought all of you guys had come to my house to clean it all up for me, but really, you all were working to prepare my house for me to move out?
Have you gotten off the plane now and arrived at your new home?
I thought that you said you were moving me closer to your brother, but now I'm out at this tiny house in the middle of nowhere with nothing around me.
Well, at least you can be away from all of us now, and we'll find it hard to trouble anyone out there.
Huh? I'll find it hard to trouble anyone out here?
Mom, do you still have no idea why you've been forced into such a sad situation as that?
What are you trying to say that I've done?
So you really have no idea then, huh? Well, let me give you the answer then. You've been harassing my wife.
Huh?
You did it once before with Jake's wife as well, right? And when his wife told him about how you'd been bullying her so much, he moved away from his house near you and never spoke to you again, right? He was really hoping something like that would have opened your eyes and that you would have learned your lesson. But nothing changed, and this time you chose to start harassing my wife when she'd been carrying our twins.
Hold on a minute. What are you going on about right now? It is the job of the husband's wife to listen to whatever his mother asks of her, no matter what, right? As a way of teaching her how to become a good wife for you, I was asking that she do all of my chores here and learn from them. Don't you dare start calling that something as barbaric as me harassing her.
Is that right? Since it doesn't seem like you're ever going to take responsibility for what you've done and change your ways, I really don't have any other choice. I'm taking a page out of Jake's book here, and I'm going to leave you now.
What?
Right after I got back from Australia, I had a word with my boss and asked that I transfer to another office out of state, and so we've moved.
What? You also moved out of your old place?
Yeah. And along with the move, I'll be changing my last name to that of Zora's. And that will set me cutting ties to you in stone, I think.
Jace!
Goodbye forever.
Jace? Jace! It was a major shock to Jace that he had to live with his actual mother being the type of person who thought it was totally okay to harass her son's wives like that. But after being transferred to a new office and the four of us moving into a new home, where he could spend time with his newborn babies, he began to realize that it didn't matter anymore what kind of a monster she was. He's now feeling a whole lot better and will go out with my dad sometimes to go golfing, and will help my mom go do grocery shopping when he has the chance, creating a wonderful atmosphere within my family. Just a few days ago, I was even able to meet my brother-in-law and his wife for some dinner and drinks. Jace's brother was even kind enough to tell us where him and his wife are living now after the dinner we had. And it turns out they're both really close to our place and my parents' house. Which pretty much means, from here on out, we'll all be seeing each other a whole lot more and rekindling the bond between two brothers. Now, let's talk about what happened with Linda herself after Jace cut ties to her. She was flown out to the middle of nowhere in the Rocky Mountains, where she's now set up in a small cabin close to a very small town with not very many people living in it at all. The only way for her to get out of that town is by plane from the local airport or by car, taking around 8 hours in all directions. Both Jace and I thought that the town would be a great place for her, considering most of the people in the town were close to her age. But it turned out not a lot of them liked her toxic and childish behavior, and so she was shunned by a lot of them and will end up living the rest of her life all by herself, with no one coming to help with her chores. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Linda! I'm sorry that this is so sudden, but I have to tell you that for a little while I don't think I'll be coming back to you.
What's going on, Connor? Did something bad happen?
I just received a call. My mom got punched in the head and is on her way to the ER right now because of it.
What? She got into a fight then? Do you need me to come there as well to be with you all?
No, you should stay home. For the time being, just me being there with my mom will be fine. I'm worried that if the man that attacked her hasn't been caught yet, he might come looking for her again, and I don't want you to be a part of that. I'm still not even sure what'll happen and why, but until I know what's all going on, I'd like to avoid having you get wrapped up in this at all costs.
That's a good point. Right now, we shouldn't be trying to add any more worries to what's already on our plates.
I'm going to start hitting there now. Until things calm down, I'm not sure I'll be able to talk with you much, so can you just wait on me to contact you?
Sure, I understand. Please be careful, and I hope things go well with your mom. Linda, how have things been going? Huh? Are you taking good care of yourself? Is this really you right now, Jody? That's right, this is Jody. What? Are you really Jody, though? Yes, this is in fact your mother-in-law, Jody. Really? Linda, what's going on with you right now? I'm sure that it might come to you as a surprise that I ended up leaving that old house of mine and moving into a newer place, but... Huh? But I didn't even mention anything about that yet to you, and right now I was planning on talking to you about something completely different. Okay? Jody, are you planning on coming over to our place first? Yes! I just got off the bus a little bit ago and am starting to get on the local bus now to come over to your guys' place. Then that must mean You've been on that last bus for around 3 hours, since that's how long it takes to get from your old house all the way to the main bus depot. Right? You're right, it's been about 3 hours so far. But actually, I was wondering if you could just come and pick me up from here so that I don't have to wait for the local bus to come by. That's why I'm texting you right now. Well, it seems that you might be too busy to come and get me then. Well, if you and Connor are too busy to see me and have me over, then I'll just get myself a hotel and travel around town a bit before going to my new place. You won't even have to worry about me, because I'm totally okay with that as well. No, I don't mind you coming over to our house to stay for a little while. But actually, I was just told a little bit ago that you hurt your head really badly and that you were on your way to the ER to have that treated. Huh? I hurt my head? And I'm supposed to be going to the ER right now? Yeah, and I was told that you were unconscious. No way! Right now I'm feeling like I'm on top of the world. Can you tell me who it was that was telling you a lie like that? Your son told me that. Huh? And I'm telling you that he told me all of this just minutes ago. He made it pretty clear to me that he was going to be heading over to the hospital to go and see you. Wait! He has no clue that I'm no longer at that old house right now, out in the countryside? Well, he probably doesn't know that yet. Then what the hell is going on with him? For the time being, I'm going to drive out to that bus depot to come and pick you up. Then you and I can talk more about all of this in person. Good idea. That way it'll be a whole lot easier for me to understand what's going on here. Can you wait for me across the street at that old bookstore so that I can pick you up a lot more easily? Sure thing. And thank you for coming to get me. I'll talk to you soon then.
Linda, I'm sorry that I'm only just talking to you now after so much time has passed, but I wanted to make sure that things were okay here before I started to update you on what all has happened and what'll happen next.
I hope you're doing okay there, Connor. So, can you tell me what's all been going on?
Thankfully, Mom is back to being fully conscious and is able to keep her eyes open. But since she took such a blow to her head and it's not looking too great, she's going to stay in the hospital for a while the doctors run some tests on her.
Well, you did tell me that she got punched in the head, so I don't blame them for wanting to run all kinds of tests on her.
Also, it seems that nobody knows about who the perpetrator is and where they're at. Right now, Mom's head, it's all wrapped in bandages and she keeps moaning in pain due to how bad the punch was. I really want to know who the hell did this to her and why they did it. When I find out who they are, I'm not going to let them get off so easy.
Are you still okay with me staying at home and not coming to the hospital to see you and your mom? I feel that it'd be the right thing for me to do, coming there to see you and your mom and hopefully help the two of you relax some.
No, you don't have to worry about coming here yet. I told you that they haven't found the person that's done this to her yet, and so it's too dangerous for you.
Right. Understood.
Linda, I found out that even after my mom gets out of here, I'm going to have to stick around to take care of her, so I won't be back home for a little while longer. I'm going to be here for as long as my mom needs me, okay?
What are you going to do about your job?
My job will be fine. I'm able to do my job remotely for a while, and my boss has given me the go-ahead on that.
Is that so? All right, then.
Seriously, the person that did this to her is in for it when he gets found. I'm still here in the hospital now, but seeing her in such pain after an attack like that makes me so angry.
Hey, Connor, right now your mom is in the middle of singing at karaoke with me.
Huh? There's no way. How would my mom ever be able to do karaoke after she was just punched in the head a day ago? Why would you even say something like that in the first place to me?
And I'd like to ask the same of you, Connor. Why are you saying all these things about your mom to me? Because at the moment, she's here with me singing karaoke. She is literally sitting right next to me in this booth.
Huh?
We both came to this karaoke joint together and rented out a booth for the next couple of hours.
The two of you are together?
Yep. Your mom and I. She told me that she really doesn't have a reason for it, but she wanted to swing by and hang out with us for a few days, and that's why her and I are out singing right now. And since I went to the bus depot to get her in my car, we decided to hit up the karaoke joint here in town to sing since it's been ages since the last time. But I'd like to know, why have you been telling me that your mom got punched in the head and that you needed to go to the hospital to go see her? And now that you are expecting to go back home with her when she gets out of there to care for her.
No, wait. Huh? Are you being serious with me?
Well, if her being here with me means anything to you to support just how serious I'm being, then you probably don't need to be asking me that question.
So you really are being serious then?
After hearing about what you've been telling me about your mom, she decided to call her neighbor to ask them if anyone has been by her house since she left. And they said they haven't seen a soul there. And if this had all been happening in her hometown, out in that very small town, then people would have heard about the incident happening. However, when she asked if her neighbor knew anything about someone getting punched, they said they never heard anything about an incident like that. So as of right now, it seems that nobody has been punched, at least not in your mom's hometown.
Hey, why have all your things just vanished from the house?
Huh? So you finally made it back to the house? I'm glad that I was able to get that moving truck to the house as soon as I could before you made it home then.
Huh? Moving truck?
I never knew about your mom coming out to our house beforehand, but I am glad that she did. Because if it weren't for her help getting all my things out of that place, then I'd probably still be there and having to deal with you in person.
What the heck? That's not the answer I was looking for.
Well, listen to this, Connor. Everything you've been trying to hide from me has been uncovered.
Huh?
Ever since this morning, you've been out in Hudsonville at that spa resort, right? And you are there right now with that one part-time girl from your work, right?
So you actually figured out what's been going on?
From the start of all of this, I began to doubt what you were saying and suspected that you might be cheating on me. So I asked for some help in looking into what you've been up to.
Huh? You're kidding.
And it's because of all the other times before that I've been able to tell you're not so good at lying. Actually, you're awful at it. But of course it did help that this time your mom decided to come out to our house without asking first, as that information from her came to me right after you told me she was going to the ER for being punched in the head. So that was the one thing I needed to confirm that you were lying to me about something and that I needed to find out what it was. But even if she hadn't come down to see us, there would have still been a problem with your story. Had she really been punched in the head, wouldn't the police be notified about it and be on the move to try and find a suspect to the crime?
The police?
In other words, what I'm trying to say is that your lie was awful, and I would have been able to see past it sooner or later. But luckily, I had your mom here with me, and she was able to check with all her friends to see if something like you told me had really happened in town. Well, anyway, I made sure to have all of this confirmed for sure by asking someone to investigate a little further into what exactly was going on with you. And of course, they started by seeing where you'd driven off to, and that led them to Hudsonville, where you're located now.
So you've been working against me?
Well, it's not like I had reason to trust you after you lied about your mother. And thankfully, you ended up extending your stay at that resort because the investigator told me your original stay was only for one night and that you would have been gone by the time they got to the resort. Well, I'm really glad that this all worked out for me and your mom in the end, as right now we're both with one another talking about what to do next about you.
So you really did figure everything out about what I've been doing.
Connor!
Oh crap, it's you!
It's one thing to be cheating on your wife and all that, but to lie about me and my health as well as about you coming back to my house just so that you could cheat? After all these lies, I feel that both Linda and I should be done with your butt. What the actual hell were you thinking lying about me again and again so that you could make Linda think everything was very serious, when in reality all you were trying to do was buy yourself some more time to stay out with that girl? I am absolutely fed up with your crap, you idiot!
What's going on? Aren't you supposed to be on the side of your son in all this?
Listen up, you dunce!
Huh?
You've been stabbing that wonderful wife of yours in the back multiple times now. Well, I don't ever remember raising such a terrible man like you in my life, and I will not let you continue like that.
Terrible man? Well, listen to this, Mom. Why are you teaming up with my wife to both go after and harass me about something as simple as this?
Huh?
I cannot believe what I'm seeing right now.
What the hell do you want me to say about this, Connor? Do you think that after doing all of this, your wife and I would just let you go on with things as though you didn't just hurt two people?
Huh?
I get that this may be a surprise to you, that we are acting so close now, but the two of us have been with one another a lot longer than you think. After all, her and I play online games with each other quite a bit.
Huh? You both play games online with each other?
I've always loved playing video games for a long time, and you should know about that, right? Well, your dad and I used to play together a lot when he was still around, but when he passed away, I was left playing games all by myself with you never being that interested. But when I heard from Linda that she liked to play video games as well, especially the same games that I like to, we started to play online with one another and make parties and all that. And after doing that together for a long time, we've grown to become more than just mother and daughter. We're more like close friends that are willing to help one another out when needed.
I never knew anything about this.
And we know that. But now that you see her and I are best friends, it's pretty obvious why her and I have teamed up on you after you cheated on and lied to her. And if she plans on divorcing you because of this, then I'm going to continue to support what she wants until she gets it.
But Mom, that's... Linda, I just sent you the money that you asked for in the settlement. I'm assuming it's in your account now?
It is. I just got a call from my lawyer a second ago telling me about it. And as for the girl you were cheating on me with, she sent me the amount I had asked her for yesterday, and in one whole payment. I'm on my way right now to the city hall to hand in our divorce papers, so after this it'll all be over between us.
Hey, do you have any idea where my mom ran off to?
Hmm?
Ever since you said you'd be divorcing me, she moved out of her house and is no longer around anymore. And as for the house that you and I have been living in together, I'll have to leave it since the place is under your name. So I tried to go back to the house she left behind, and there was a note there that she left for me. And in that note it says she's going to sell the place soon and that I need to be out of here by the end of the week or else the police will be called on me. I haven't even been able to get in touch with her since then, and so I can't tell where she is now.
Well, she's still coming online every now and then to play games with me.
Wait, really?
But she's told me that she's not going to tell anyone, not even me, the new address that she has, and won't be telling anyone for a while yet. So you won't be getting an answer from me.
Is that so? Then, can you at least tell my mom something for me?
Stop it. She told me that she no longer wants to talk to you anymore, so anything you have to say to her will not be heard.
Alright then.
Now, I'm guessing that's it for us now?
Linda?
I really want to start driving to the city office to hand in the divorce papers.
Alright.
Goodbye forever now, Connor. After what had happened, Connor ended up changing jobs and leaving his previous company. To tell you the truth, he ended up not getting the promotion he was expecting to get, and that's what drove him to leave. And actually, he wasn't ever given permission to work remotely in the first place, and so he was demoted instead of promoted after that. And when it comes to that girl that he cheated on me with from his job, she wasn't in for a good time either, as she soon learned about the lie he told to be able to go on vacation with her. And just a little while after, the story of how he lied about his mom's health so that he could cheat on me spread around the town and really ruined both of their reputations. But this wasn't even close to the end. And this story soon spread to that girl's husband as well, and he went out to find where Connor changed jobs to, and when he found him, he explained to Connor's manager what happened. This then led to him being fired from that job and completely moving out of the city into a small apartment out somewhere in the countryside to hide from all that was going on. Right now he's working on a farm doing laborious work to try and make up the money needed to pay off the settlement to his one secret girl's husband. And I'm sure that since his bank accounts are bone dry, it'll be a long time before he's able to break free from all this. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey, niece. It's been a heckin' long time. How have you been, girl? How long's it been? We must be going on 7 years now. Damn, it flew by. Feels like all that stuff went down a lifetime ago, and at the same time, it's like it was yesterday. It's funny how that works, huh?
Sorry, but would you mind telling me who you are?
You kidding me? It's me, Biff, you donut. Couldn't you tell? 'Cause I'm messaging you from a different number.
Huh?
What you mean, huh? It's me, Biff, your ex-boyfriend. Hang on, maybe that's not the best way of wording it. Your beloved ex-boyfriend and favorite person in the whole wide world, Biff. That's better. Remember me now?
If you're going to talk nonsense, would you mind doing it when I'm not busy? I get the impression you didn't message me for any real reason in particular, so if you'll excuse me, I'll be going now.
Hey, come on, Denise. I obviously did message you for a reason. Otherwise, I wouldn't be messaging you, would I? Look, quit jumping to conclusions and hear me out, alright? Sheesh.
Fine, what do you want? You better make it quick.
I decided to take you back.
Excuse me?
Yeah, that's right. You heard me. I bet you're not so eager to get back to work right now, huh? It's an attractive offer, right? Right?
Which part of what you just said is attractive?
Huh?
7 years ago, when I was 26, you said to me you were bored of me because I was a worn-out old hag well past my prime and broke up with me, describing me as being on the wrong side of 30. After that, you immediately got with an 18-year-old fresh out of college intern from our workplace. Does any of this ring any bells, Biff?
Sure, everything you say is true. It's not like I deny it, but I was young back then, babe. I've matured a lot since then.
You were turning 31 years old, 5 years older than me.
Men and women age differently. Unlike a woman, a man hits his prime when he turns 30. Women? Well, I hate to say this, babe, but it's all downhill from there. Things that used to be beautiful and plump start sagging. Things that used to shimmer and glow start wrinkling up. Basically, 30 is where women hit the wall.
In that case, why on earth would you be interested in getting back with me? I'm 33 now. I shouldn't have to spell it out, but that means I'm older than I was when you broke up with me. You don't think time froze and I stayed 26 this whole time, right?
Don't be silly, babe. That's clearly ridiculous. I forget how funny you can be sometimes, Denise. I always did like that about you.
All right, so I take it we're done here?
Wait, why?
Because me and you are not getting back together. What else is there for us to discuss? You're doing nothing but wasting my valuable time here.
No, wait just a sec, damn it. It's been so long since we spoke. Are you really going to dip out on me like this? Let's at least chat a little while longer. You know, reminisce over the good old days. Talk about what we've been up to all this time.
Do you really think I have that much free time on my hands?
Whatever. Don't worry about that. I'm sure whatever stuff you need to do can wait. Sometimes it's good to catch up with an old flame, you know? Hey, wait a sec. What's wrong, babe? Scared you'll, I don't know, catch feelings from me again? I guess I wouldn't blame you if you did.
Ew, that's one of the cringiest things I've ever heard.
Cringy? Hey, whatever. Look, I guess I always admired how you said exactly what was on your mind. You're kind of cute when you get all feisty, you know, babe.
Yep, gross.
Anyway, I heard some stuff. Is it true you changed jobs after we broke up? Heard you landed a job at a major New York-based company.
What's it to you?
Well, me and the girl you just mentioned actually moved to New York after the breakup. Crazy coincidence, right?
I knew that. So what?
Wait, you did?
Of course I did. I worked in the department next door on the same floor as you both. She was an intern being trained up on your department after graduating college, right? What was her name again? Was it Rena? How could I forget the time the two of you skipped across the office holding hands while singing, "We're going to New York," to hand in your resignation letter to the manager? I swear it was the most embarrassing, vomit-inducing thing I've ever seen. I could tell your head was so clouded by your feelings for her you'd completely lost all of your rational decision-making skills, because why the heck else would a fully grown man act like a 12-year-old kid in front of his coworkers like that?
I see. Is that really how happy we look back then?
I guess happy is one word for it, but some might prefer to describe it as hopelessly delusional or maybe childish.
I see. Well, I get what this is. I didn't realize how jealous we were making you at the time, babe. I'm sorry. It must have really sucked to see your man having such a great time with another woman like that.
Jealousy? Don't flatter yourself. I am obviously insulting you, you pea-brain.
I guess the fact that you thought about it that much betrays just how much you cared about me. I guess I can't blame you. You're hardly going to find anyone else up to my standard. I'm handsome, charismatic, funny, confident, capable, modest. I basically have every positive characteristic a guy can have.
Wow. Everything you just said is so absurd, I don't even know how to reply to it. Anyway, the bottom line is that it's not how people act in the workplace, especially not when they're handing in their resignation letters. It was honestly awkward to witness, and I wasn't the only one at the office who thought so.
Well, I guess we were young. That's just how people are around that age. You're overthinking this.
Young? Are you for real? You were 31 years old, Biff. If you think that justifies elementary school level behavior in the workplace, I think this conversation is beyond my capabilities. How about, I don't know, seeing a shrink maybe?
Geez, Denise, how about you give me a break for once? Can't we just let bygones be bygones? I've grown a lot as a person since then, so you don't have to worry about me doing anything crazy anymore.
Who you are now is totally irrelevant to me, and I literally could not care less.
Quit sulking, it's petty. Look, babe, I admire your feisty stubbornness, I really do. Look, if anything, I like it more when you're like this, because when you play hard to get, your cute side comes out.
So?
Huh?
So what do you want?
What do you mean?
It's been 7 years. The reason we broke up in the first place was because you were horrible to me about my age. Do you have any idea how crappy you saying all those things made me feel? I'm 33 years old now. Why would you want us to get back together after all this time? I just don't get it. None of what you're saying makes any sense at all.
Well, how to put this? Look, I'm bored of dating younger girls now. First of all, we have nothing to talk about. I don't even know what half the crap these young girls babble on about these days. What even is a TikTok? Never heard of it. Maybe that wouldn't be such a big deal. Because it's not like I date them for their personalities. I date them for their butts, boobs, and pretty faces, and I ain't ashamed to deny it, but the problem is that these young girls' values and money sense is totally different to mine. Oh yeah, not to forget the most important one, I got frickin' cheated on.
Wow.
That girl, Rena, she said she'd rather be with a young, handsome guy close to her age. Look, babe, what I'm about to tell you never leaves this chat, okay? But she said to me, I could never be satisfied with an old man like you. You just don't stimulate me in the right places.
Oh my God, Biff. That was so rude. Oh, please forgive me. Okay, I'll calm down, I promise. Rena must be, 25 now? And you're 38? I see. It wouldn't be the craziest thing in the world if your stamina levels and, urges weren't very well matched to one another?
Who knows? Maybe. The bottom line is, we broke up. I still feel kind of pathetic over the whole thing. It was only a few weeks ago. Anyway, I thought this would be the perfect opportunity for me and you to get back together. You know, rekindle our old flame. So what do you say, sugar tits? Should we make another go of it? We're both in our 30s now, and I'm only 5 years older than you, so I doubt we'll even notice the difference. Besides, when you think about it, it's pretty obvious that this is the best opportunity you're ever going to get. You're 33 and well past your prime, so let's get back together. You must be seriously panicking about the prospect of never finding a man who'll marry you, right? Well, here I am, the solution to your problem.
And what, that's supposed to be why I'm supposed to come running back into your arms? Have you been smoking crack?
Come on, Denise, look, the whole hard-to-get thing is wearing thin now. This is obviously a crazy good offer for you. All right, well, that settles it. Me and you are officially a couple again. Excellent, superb, fantastic, magnificent. I can't wait for the make-up lovemaking. Okay, babe, I'll head over to your place. Tell me your address and I'll be on my way.
Why?
Oh, 'cause starting today I'll be moving in with you. Me and you are going to be living together again, baby. Ain't that great?
Biff, I'm already married.
To me, seriously. Would you just be honest with me for a change? Look, you must be overwhelmed with joy at the chance to get back with a stud like me. So why not just admit it?
I'm overwhelmed with something, but it isn't joy. Try disgust.
I'm not kidding, babe. If you're not honest with me now, I'm not going to hang around forever. If I change my mind now, I'll never give you another chance. Look, I know this whole thing must feel a little weird for you, what with us having been apart these last 7 years, but that measly 7-year gap will feel like it never happened after one night of hot, steamy romance. And before you know it, the flame of our passion will be rekindled.
You are literally the biggest cringe lord I've ever had the misfortune of meeting.
Stop it. And how many times do I have to tell you this isn't the time for jokes? Denise, come on. Just say what's really on your mind. It must have been real tough for you, not seeing me for 7 years. I bet you thought about me every day, right? Well, But this is finally your chance to tell me how painful it's been, how much you've longed for my tender touch, for the warmth of my big muscular body pressed up against yours, the minty smell of my breath as I whisper sweet nothings into your ears.
I'm gonna vomit.
Huh?
I think I'm actually gonna vomit.
Denise, you intend on sticking with this hard-to-get act, huh?
I'm being bluntly honest with you, Biff. What else can I even say? You willfully misinterpret everything I say to convince yourself I'm actually head over heels in love with you.
Oh, come on, that's silly talk. You know I'm not doing that. All I'm doing is telling you I'm willing to take you back even though you're 33. You do realize if you waste this opportunity, you'll end up growing old, alone, and childless, tormented on a daily basis by the thought of what could have been if only you hadn't been so stubborn.
I can assure you, you don't have to worry about me. I'm fine without you, thanks.
You are so not fine, Denise. That's why I'm trying to help you. Don't be honest with me already, goddammit.
Biff, why did you just ignore me when I told you I'm married?
Huh? Quit fooling around. There ain't a guy on this planet who'd marry a used-up, old 33-year-old past her prime like you. If you don't take me up on my kindness here, you're done for.
Go on then, I'll humor you. That's clearly not true. Because people are finding love, and having kids, at all ages these days. Your hateful ideas have no basis in reality, and to be honest, I'm actually impressed you believe in them yourself, because you only have to take a walk around the city to see what I'm talking about. People are getting married later and later these days, and that goes for both men and women.
Sure, maybe that's true, but you're obviously an exception, because you think about me every day. How can you find love with someone else when I'm the only man in your heart?
Yep, there you go again. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Huh? What do you mean?
I genuinely don't understand it. I have absolutely no idea what makes you think I think about you every day.
Huh?
Do you fail to understand basic English? I said I don't understand what makes you think that.
Because our hearts are connected. And not speaking for 7 years don't change that. A love as true and pure as ours never disappears.
Our hearts are connected? I'm pretty sure any kind of connection we had disintegrated the moment you broke up with me.
No way. That ain't true.
Let me say it one more time. I got married ages ago.
No way.
I have 3 children.
WTF? What the hell? You serious? You got 3 kids?
Huh? So this is the part where you suddenly start taking me seriously?
But why? How could you have kids with some other dude when you still have feelings for me? How could you do something so absurd? I get that the thought of growing old, alone, and childless must have been terrifying, but to think you would ignore and repress your own feelings like that.
Ugh, I'm sick of telling you. Any feelings I had for you died a long time ago.
Huh?
You know, it's funny. They say it takes time to get over a breakup, but not with you. I was over you the moment you said all of those hurtful things. My feelings for you were as warm as a North Pole glacier.
No way.
I wouldn't get back with you even if the human race was about to go extinct.
Oh my God.
You need to get your head checked out, Biff, because this behavior is not normal.
No way, this can't be. I don't have anywhere to live.
Wait, what?
Listen, babe, the thing is, I've been really struggling to find a job ever since I quit my old one. Moved to New York to live with Rena, and she did fine. She found something else within her first month of arriving, but I don't know if it's because she's young. But she got used to life here straight away, and before I knew it, she had a job and was out socializing with her co-workers and making a bunch of friends, and I feel like I don't fit in here at all. It's like I slipped through the cracks and everyone forgot about me. I feel like a shadow of my former self. I can barely look people in the eye anymore. Even leaving the house is a challenge. I haven't seen daylight in a week.
Basically, you were lounging around at home all day like some lazy, neat sloth lord while Rita was out working to pay the bills? Then she kicked you out on the streets after reaching her wit's end with you after 7 years of providing for her man-child boyfriend? Did I hit the bullseye or did I hit the bullseye?
No way. That's not how it happened. Well, not exactly.
Yep, so you were sponging off her then.
You don't have to put it so coldly.
How about you answer the question I'm asking instead of taking offense with how I'm asking it? Rena probably felt anxious and uncertain about the future when she realized you were nothing but a leech who was quite happy to sponge off her hard work while lazing around the house all day. So instead of risking her entire future on someone clearly unreliable, She did the sensible thing and gave up on you instead. This might sound weird coming from me, but I think she did well to put up with you for a whole 7 years.
But
Biff, you do know you're almost 40 years old now, right? It's bad enough to be unemployed at your age, but the fact you're unemployed and not looking for work is nothing short of a disaster. Is there a reason you're not looking for work?
Well, not exactly.
If you're totally without options, why not just go back home and live with your parents? It might not seem very appealing, but I don't see what choice you have if you're not willing to look for work.
But they disowned me when I quit my job to move to New York 7 years ago.
I see. Find a job in the city then? You're in New York, Biff. There's work for those who really want it.
But I haven't worked for 7 years, and leaving the house is scary. Besides, I don't even know what kind of jobs to apply for. I saw an article the other day about how AI is taking people's jobs. How can you seriously expect me to be able to find a job when the world's gone to the dogs?
I'm not sure you have time to be making excuses, Biff. Tick-tock.
Anyway, the work can wait. I need to do something about the more pressing matter of not having anywhere to sleep. I got it. How about I come stay over at your place for a little while? You know, maybe just for a few weeks while I find something.
Have you no conception of how ridiculous you sound?
Look, if your husband's upset with me being there, how about we both bow down to him in apology? And I'll do all the housework to show him how grateful I am. All right, that settles it. Give me your address.
No way. You are not staying with us.
What?
Why should I have to bow down to anyone?
No, listen.
Besides, I'm not even in New York anymore.
Huh, what?
My husband and I moved to his hometown when we got married.
You gotta be joking me. What am I supposed to do?
I don't know, but relying on your ex-girlfriend clearly isn't the answer.
But
If you have enough time on your hands to be boring me with this bullcrap, get your ass down to the job center, you lazy bum. Can you believe how delusional that guy is? I knew he was bad news when he broke up with me, but after what happened today, I'm convinced he's even more mentally unstable than I first thought. After I blocked him, he managed to get through to his parents after spam calling them in a desperate panic to find a place to stay. Apparently, when he finally got through to them, he mentioned my name. As for what exactly was said, we found out later through a phone call from Biff's mom to my parents' place. His mom told mine that apparently I had begged his parents to forgive him for what he did and let him move back in with them. Obviously, when my dad spoke to me about it, he and my mom immediately realized it was a big steaming pile of bullshit and passed on the message to his parents. A few days later, his mom and dad called mine directly and apologized profusely. They must have realized he was too dangerous to be let loose on society because within a few days, his dad bundled him into the back of a van, drove him back to their hometown, and now forces him to work heavy manual labor on their farm, day in and day out. Thanks for watching, folks. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to prove what a boss you are by liking and subscribing. Can you believe how arrogant Biff was? Jeez, talk about delusional. If you've ever known a Biff, let us know in the comments. We can't wait to see you again next time.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.